baseball in the Valley. Well, Jose, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And let's continue with some Angel talk now. The big story going into this game today is Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Just his second start for the Angels in the Cactus League, but he has pitched some other games as well.
Well, he has one guy that Mike Scioscia knew. He had a program somehow into how he's going to incorporate him to keep his program that he had back in Japan. So that meant facing minor leaguers for a couple of innings, then throwing him into the fire for the Cactus League opener here in this ballpark against the Brewers, and a couple of B games. The stuff needs to play well, and for Ohtani, it's about what makes him drive and try to be what he is.
やっぱこっちに来てもそうですけど、まだまだ上にこう上手い人がいて、その人たちに勝ちたいなっていう、そういう気持ちもありますし、あとは自分自身のこう持ってるものっていうのを少しでも多く現役のうちに、上に行きたいなっていうそういう気持ちじゃないかなと思います。
So obviously there's a lot of players with that are a lot better than me, a lot more talent. So I want to be better than those guys. That's what drives me. And another thing is I kind of want to test myself to see how much I can show the world while I'm still an active player. I just want to be the best I can be while I'm on the field.
Well, Shohei Ohtani has a tough call here today, facing Jose, one of the best hitting teams in baseball, taking on the Colorado Rockies, and most of their A players will be in the lineup.
I think that's great. It's time now for him to go out there and be able to incorporate all the stuff that he does possess, those 4 pitches, get into some good counts, because the challenge is big, and it's great. He needs to go out there and find out how his stuff matches up against Charlie Blackmon. You got DJ LeMahieu, who hit a grand slam yesterday against the Angels and Keenan Middleton, and of course Nolan Arenado, a guy that perhaps a lot of people just don't appreciate what he does on an everyday basis. So in terms of Ohtani, go out there and find some 0-1 counts, incorporate your curveball, your slider, get some good finishes, and I think, Terry, a good start for him will be one he can build off of for the rest of the spring and, of course, this ballgame.
Well, speaking of pitching, and of course Ohtani, the big story, we'll also see Parker and Bedrosian likely pitch for the Angels here today. Angels pitchers this spring, Jose, have been striking out a lot of opposing batters. There was a game a few weeks ago. Angels had 16 strikeouts in a 9-inning game.
So what's leading that? Well, they're getting themselves in favorable counts. Of course, 0-1s or 1-0s, matching up and then finishing guys off. So those 1-0s quickly become 1-1s, and before you know it, they're working ahead. They're working fast. They're incorporating every pitch. They're hitting the corners. And with the fastballs, a lot of call strikes. Why? Location and movement. And with the breaking balls, according to who you are. A guy like Richards, he can go breaking ball, he can go fastball to get you with a strikeout. But without breaking balls, hitting out of the zone, so guys are chasing more than anything else.
All right, on the offensive side today, we'll see Andrelton Simmons for the first time in a while. He played against the Rockies in the split squad game yesterday at Salt River Fields. He's a little bit behind, Jose. He missed about a week's worth of action here in the Cactus League.
Yesterday, a big test for him. 4 at-bats, and for the guy that was 8th in American League MVP voting. Welcome back. In your .320 average, tremendous scoring position last year, Andrelton Simmons dove for a ball to his left yesterday over against Colorado. He says that was the biggest test I was going to have, and he passed it, so certainly looking forward to seeing Simba in action here for the rest of the spring.
Well, it should be a good matchup. I know a lot of people are pulling for Ohtani. We're going to have a big crowd here today, probably over 8,000, and we'll see how it all factors out.
Hopefully a good first inning, and from there on, Shohei takes over this crowd.
All right, Shohei Ohtani on the hill for the Angels here against the Rockies. The Angels will face the Rockies during the regular season as well. This will be the final time, though, this spring these two teams will match up here in the Cactus League. So a beautiful day for baseball. The Angels here at home in Tempe will have the lineups, the start of the game on Fox Sports West.
to all of you here from Tempe Diablo Stadium. So blessed to be with you through our simulcast on AM 830 and on Fox Sports West. Jose Mota with you alongside Terry Smith as the Angels and Shohei Ohtani on the mound will face the Colorado Rockies here this afternoon. Starting lineups are brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. For the dangerous Rockies, Charlie Blackmon led the National League in hitting last year in center field, batting first. DJ LeMahieu is batting second at second base. Nolan Arenado from Orange County is batting third at third base. Trevor Story at shortstop, big time power, is batting fourth. Gerardo Parra, welcome back. Parra is in left field batting fifth. Ian Desmond playing first base for Colorado, batting sixth. Chris Iannetta, former Angel, is behind the plate batting seventh. Mike Tauchman is in right field batting eighth, and Jordan Patterson, designated hitter for the Rockies, is batting ninth. On the mound for the Rockies, Germán Marquez from Venezuela, outstanding rookie last year. As Ohtani gets ready, Mike Scioscia's lineup. Ian Kinsler leading off at second base. Mike Trout is batting second, hit a home run and a triple yesterday. Trout getting hot. He's in center. Justin Upton, 9 RBI so far in the spring, batting third in left field. Cole Calhoun back cleanup today in right. Anderton Simba's back. Simmons in his 7th game now here in the spring after missing 6 games with the strain on his left shoulder at shortstop. Zach Cozart hit a home run yesterday, first of the spring, batting 6th at third base. Luis Valbuena, first base, batting 7th. Chris Young playing his 2nd game for the Angels. The veteran outfielders today, the designated hitter, batting 8th. And Martin Maldonado also went yard yesterday. Maldonado is the Angels catcher. It is all set up. Very pleasant temperatures here in the Valley. A nice crowd all the way around, and certainly a lot of fever. Baseball in the Valley, Terry, and all eyes on one Shohei Ohtani.
And he's been loosening up with his battery mate today, Martin Maldonado, just about ready to complete the warm-up tosses. Around the infield, the Angels look like this afternoon. Luis Valbuena plays first base with Ian Kinsler at second. Zach Cozart at third. Andrelton Simmons back in the lineup at short. Outfield, Upton in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right. Maldonado catching. Chris Young is DHing, and 23-year-old right-hander Shohei Ohtani, 6'4", about 203 pounds on the mound. So Ohtani making just his 2nd start in the Cactus League. He has pitched in several other games, though. And he is just about ready to get things going here against the Rockies, who have on the purple tops, the gray pants. Angels have the red tops and the white pants. Shift is on as Charlie Blackmon leads it off. Here's the first pitch today. It's a fastball to misses high. We're underway. The count 1 ball, no strikes. 72 degrees at game time today here in Tempe, and the first pitch was right on time at 1:10. And here's the next delivery. That one is a fastball chased and missed, and the count even. It's now 1-1. That was a big cut by Charlie Blackmon.
And a pretty good fastball, too, from Ohtani, as you can see, working exclusively from the stretch.
Blackmon won the batting title in the National League last season, hit .331, had a career-high 37 homers as well as a leadoff man. And he takes that one for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Charlie Blackmon, an interesting guy, because back in his amateur days, he was drafted as a pitcher coming out of high school and junior college, and he chases and misses that one 2-2.
I'll say just in 3 pitches, 4 pitches, it is about as loose as I've seen Ohtani release the baseball. It is flying out of his hand, and it is popping that glove of Maldonado.
Well, velocity looks very good here. He's only 4 pitches in.
Got the split finger grip to begin with, and he'll readjust inside that glove.
So here's the 2-2, and that's another fastball, misses outside. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. In the one start that Ohtani had pitching in the Cactus League, that was back on the 24th of last month of February, and that was against Milwaukee. Went an inning and a third in that one. Here's the next delivery. That one is low, didn't miss by much, ball 4, so a leadoff walk.
Even Ohtani thought he had a good running fastball, so you can see even a little extra movement on that fastball today. Miss, but not by a whole lot in that outer corner.
Ohtani's had a couple of appearances where he's pitched in B games. He had a start as well against a team from the Mexican League.
And that was his last outing when he got roughed up by the Toros from Tijuana.
Yep, that was a week ago, last Friday, and the pitch, and that one is right in there on the number 2 batter, DJ LeMahieu, who's having a very good spring. He's hitting almost 450. Rockies a year ago, second best hitting team, at least batting average wise, in the majors. Their team batting average last year was 273, and they have most of their regulars in the lineup today. Next pitch, that's in there. Took something off the pitch. Called strike. It's now 0-2.
A sharp breaking slider buckled a very dangerous hitter in DJ LeMahieu. So also has a batting title under his belt. Hit a grand slam yesterday against Keenan Middleton.
And here's the pitch, and that is in there. Struck him out looking, froze him. LeMahieu questions the home plate umpire John Tumpain after getting called out on strikes. That's the game's first out.
Well, you got to respect velocity if you're waiting on deck and watching what Ohtani has done with his fastball the first 8 or 9 pitches, and then when you see anything in that lane to begin with, you are going to back away from the play. That's happened twice in that at bat against LeMahieu.
So here's another right-handed hitter, Nolan Arenado, their all-star third baseman, and the first pitch off speed looked like a breaking ball in there for a called strike.
3 in a row, same pitch, same location, same result.
Ohtani fastball, slider, curve. He has a very good split finger fastball. Throw a changeup, and the next delivery in there again for a called strike. So the Rockies hitters here taking a lot of pitches, and all of a sudden Ohtani is starting to pump in a lot of strikes.
There's one thing for sure, very clear and visible, Terry. He is not holding back.
Here's the 0-2. And that one popped off the mitt of Maldonado, but no advancement by Blackman.
Even Ohtani's applauding Maldonado's effort out there on the mound. Very expressive. It's a great hustle play by Martin, Gold Glover. He's got some good defense behind him all the way around.
Which bounced in, hit off the chest protector of Maldonado, and the Gold Glover was quick to retrieve that loose baseball. No advancement by Blackman, who can run. He had 14 stolen bases last year. He has some speed. Counts 1-2 on Arenado, and he lines one just out of the reach of Kinsler. It's going to fall into right center, so they will have runners at the corners. And now Ohtani in a little bit of one-out trouble. 2 on. Cleanup batter is up next. That's Trevor Story.
As mentioned before the game today, this is a good lineup, and Arenado, one of the best hitters in the game for this reason. Yep, same pitch, location perhaps a little bit higher, but he was now looking for that pitch, that slider cutting across from the inner to the middle of the plate, was ready for it and just made solid contact. Credit to him.
So here's Story, who's having a good spring. He's hitting .448, 13 for 29. He's had a homer, 6 RBIs. He is a guy who will strike out over 190 times last year with the Rockies. In fact, he set a franchise record, 191 strikeouts last year. And the pitch, that's in there, called strike, 0-1. Story,
big time power.
He hit 24 home runs last year. Ohtani is set, and the next pitch, it's inside. That moves him all the way out of the batter's circle. 1 ball, 1 strike.
After so many sliders right in front of him to him in that first pitch, clearly see that Story was looking for that pitch again when Ohtani busted him away from the plate. It's a good pitch.
Counts 1-1 with 1 out and 2 on, and the next delivery, it's chased and missed. Chased one that was low and breaking away.
I'm going to try to get a report here on velocity here today.
Ohtani in his Japanese career clocked it over 100 miles per hour. 1-2 pitch, and that's chased and missed. He got it, struck him out. So the 2 outs in the inning, coming on strikeouts. In between, they've had a walk and a single. And the batter now will be Gerardo Parra, who was sidelined up until just a couple days ago, and he's had only 4 at-bats. He's had a couple of hits so far this spring.
And not knowing how this is going to all end up in terms of the outcome, but certainly that is the best of Ohtani that we have seen in terms of sequence of pitches through 17 pitches and just letting that fastball go.
Parra was a 300 hitter last season. He's coming off of hand surgery, had right hand surgery to remove the hamate bone, and that one is in there for a strike. That surgery was last month.
It seems like the hamate bone is back in action.
Yep.
Usually is the hook of that bone that causes a lot of trouble for hitters. Very painful.
0-1 is the count. Ohtani is set. Next pitch, and that's in there.
Boy, he was saving that 12-6. Beautiful rainbow right there. That curveball.
You heard some oohs and ahs from the crowd on that pitch right there.
That's a total knee buckler. Very tight spin. Plenty of revolutions on that one.
So Ohtani has been trying to keep these batters off balance. He's showing them all the weapons in his arsenal here. 2 outs, 2 on, 2 strikes. Next pitch grounded on the first base side. It skips off the glove of Valbuena, but it's recovered over there by Kinsler, and he flips back to Valbuena, and the inning is over. So that's your old 3-4-3 ground out to end the inning. So that'll do it here for the Rockies. They leave a couple runners on base. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the first on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Strong inning for Shohei Ohtani. We heard he hit 98 miles per hour with his fastball in the top of the first inning. And we could tell he was throwing hard, harder than we've seen in his other outings. And the first delivery here by Herman Marquez And that one is taken for a called strike by Ian Kinsler. Here's the next pitch. There's one bounce right by the mound and through into center field. So Kinsler, who's been batting over 300 this spring, has hit his first time up today, and the batter will be Mike Trout.
There's young man right here on the mound. Another very fine hurler for Colorado, and Bud Black, 11 wins for Herman Marquez last year. As you were informing me, Terry, also the quality starts that he had for that team were pretty amazing.
14 quality starts last year. That was the most by any major league rookie pitcher last season. This is a guy who kind of flew under the radar screen a year ago. And the pitch, that's on the outside corner and taken for a strike by Mike Trout. Trout received an award before the ball game. He was inducted into the Arizona Fall League Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer at age 26.
How about that? Came quick.
Here's the pitch. That's drilled into center field, but it's hanging up now, and out there is Blackman to make the grab. That one a little bit off the end of the bat for Mike Trout. Routine play, as it turns out, and Kinsler holding at first, and here's Upton.
See, Trout's swing is coming along. Yesterday, Trout home run and a triple.
So here's Upton, who's 7 for 29 this spring. Has a pair of homers. He's driven in 9 runs. Toss over to first. Kinsler dives back to the bag safely. Infield is playing it at double play depth. Marquez, 23-year-old right-hander, 6'1", 185-pounder. His delivery is low. That one's smothered by Chris Iannetta, a former Angel, who's now in his second go-around with the Colorado Rockies.
And just acquired him from the Rockies. Had a nice season. Iannetta, veteran catcher for the D-backs last year. And he has gone back home.
1 ball, no strikes to count. And the next pitch, Upton takes inside. Herman Marquez this spring in 3 starts has struggled. He's given up 13 hits now, make it 14, including the Kinsler hit in 8 innings of work overall this spring. This is his 4th start, and here's the next pitch, and that misses high. So he's fallen behind on Upton. It's now 3-0.
Going through something comparable, Terry, to Parker Bridwell. 10-3 for the Angels last year. He's had a rough spring. Marcus, 11-7 last year, and also having some issues here in the early going.
And the next pitch, that was a green light, and chasing that 3-0 and fouling it off is Upton, back on the right side, out of play. 3 balls, 1 strike. Waiting on deck for the Angels is Cole Calhoun. He's the cleanup batter, and the pitch, that ball's clobbered but foul down the left side. That had home run distance by plenty, but way foul.
It's going to end up around the pool there in the Buttes. Up the hill against the cacti. And it's going to start rolling down that hill.
That ball was really hit, but just a long strike. So we'll see what happens on the payoff delivery, and it's on its way, and it's an off-speed pitch waved at him, missed. Good pitch there, gets up and struck him out. That's out number 2.
A pretty good sequence. And the ability to take so much off of that slider is impressive for a young man with a good arm.
So the batter is Calhoun, who's had 11 hits this spring for the Angels. He's hitting over 400. There's a pitch low. Cole Calhoun close to the most hits of any Angel this spring. David Fletcher and Eric Young Jr. actually leading the club in hits this spring.
EY's sneaking up on people.
Yeah. Three-man right side infield shift going on, and the pitch that's chased and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cole Calhoun.
Charlie Blackman in center field. The athlete that knows how to patrol that area. Shaded to left center field here against Cole Calhoun, who has been, as we've been saying time after time, so good at hitting the ball the other way all throughout the spring.
Toss over to first base. Diving back to the bag goes Kinsler. Led the inning off with a single. He's there now with 2 outs.
Calhoun even holding the bat a little bit different. Positioning his feet a little bit different also in the batter's box. A little more weight in the back leg.
Here's the next delivery. That's off speed. It misses outside. Angels and Rockies met yesterday in the split squad day game. And the Angels came back and won that ball game 10-8. Two teams have had similar records this spring. Angels are 9-13 and the Rockies 8-12-1. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air, hit well in the left field. Going back is Parra. Still going back. Hits out by the wall, and that ball is gone out of here. A home run to the opposite field by Cole Calhoun, his first home run this spring, and the Angels put 2 on the board with 2 outs, lead it 2-0.
That's how he's been getting it done. Just trying a little bit less and just letting the ball get there, but you got to have the trust of your hands and not start cheating and getting ahead of yourself to try to be quick. I mean, done so far through the at-bats he's had here in the spring is pretty much one copying the other. Terry, that was as smooth a swing as we've seen from Cole Calhoun ever, hitting the ball that hard the other way. Thin air or not, that was very impressive.
So Steve Foster, who's their pitching coach, goes out, has a quick word with Marquez after giving up the home run to Cole Calhoun.
That was so much backspin, it just never stopped carrying.
There's a pitch a little bit low on Simmons, and the count 1 ball, no strikes.
It's now 11 earned runs that Marquez has allowed here in the spring.
Two balls and no strikes on Simmons. Well, the Angels hit some home runs yesterday against the Rockies and get one in the first inning today. And there's one drilled in the gap in left center. It'll split the outfielders and roll all the way out to the wall. Simmons will make a turn at second and decide to go back to the bag. He's there with a 2-out double. That one was banged in between Parra and Blackman and rolled out to the left center field wall. It's about 400 feet out there in the gap.
Anderson with some torque on there right through that mid body, using that bat nice through that zone. Came out yesterday strong as ever after missing 6 games. So valuable in so many ways beyond the glove. Anderson Simmons for the Angels offense.
It's only his 3rd hit this spring, but he missed about a week's worth of games with that left shoulder strain. And the batter now is Cozart, and the first pitch he takes that one for strike 1.
Angels home runs yesterday against the Rockies. Marte, Maldonado, Cozart, Trout, Baldoquin.
Here's the pitch. This is lifted in the air down the left field side, and that one's going to land foul down around the open air bullpen area down the left field line. So 0-2 on Cozart. Cozart, Jose mentioned, hit a home run yesterday. It was his first one this spring, first RBI this spring. Here's the next pitch, and that's low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 20 pitch inning right now for German Marquez. Right-hander set. Here's the next pitch. That's low. 2-2. Balbuena would be up next. Ohtani's going to have at least a 2-run cushion to work with when he pitches in the second. It's 2-0 Angels here, bottom of the first. And the next pitch, way outside. It skips off the glove of Iannetta. Can't find it as the ball rolls outside of the batter's circle. And on the wild pitch, Simmons will easily move to third without a throw.
I'm glad you mentioned Ohtani because Shohei is inside that auxiliary locker room, which is behind the Angels dugout inside, and keeping loose, of course, going back to the Japanese custom of with 2 outs, you're allowed to play catch in front of the dugout and stay warm for those long innings. And actually something that he brought up after his first outing here against Milwaukee in one prolonged inning that perhaps could have affected him when he took the mound for the second time. So Terry, I mean, as soon as there was 1 out, he was inside running through that tunnel.
3-2 pitch. Another pitch fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. We have a big crowd here today, and this is kind of in sellout territory.
Absolutely beautiful day. Great environment.
3-2 delivery. Fouled off on the left side. So Cozart is really battling with the count full. 2 strikes on him, and he's been fouling him off just about everywhere.
Not exactly the formula that Buddy Black wanted for a struggling young pitcher. 25 pitches already. And now there's a balk.
And that is the call by the home plate umpire, John Tumpane. So Simmons will be awarded home plate, and the Angels get a big gift right there. It's 3-0.
And he's also counting the visits. That's 2 visits now by Chris Iannetta for the Rockies. So Marcus started and stopped. No doubt about it.
So their second-year big league pitcher rattled a little bit here in this first inning. And the next delivery, that one will miss ball 4 after all that. That was a long at bat right there. Cozart keeps the inning alive. All this damage really inflicted after 2 were gone.
When you talk about having a deeper lineup, as Mike Scioscia has talked about numerous times here in the spring, and Billy Epler has addressed as he plugged some holes in the offseason. This is what you're hoping for. You don't have to necessarily depend on Trout and Upton or Pujols. It's about the rest of the guys and that line continuing on.
First pitch on Valbuena, he just chopped 1 foul over on the first base side.
And that's what's happened here. Trout fly out to center, Upton strike out. Cole Calhoun, Rojo picks him up, home run. Simmons a double, and a great at bat there by Cozart.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is chased and missed. So down right now, 0-2 is Valbuena. The Simmons run really, Marquez has nobody to blame but himself. He wild pitched Simmons to third, and then he brought him in on his walk out there on the mound. Here's the next delivery, and this one is fouled off to our left, back behind home plate, out of play.
Valbuena just back from Florida, absent for a couple of days as he went over to take his U.S. citizenship test.
Here's the pitch, and he was fooled on that one. Waves at that pitch, misses it, struck him out, and that's how the inning will end. But the Angels send 7 to the plate, 3 of them score, and we go to the second inning. It's 3-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Shohei Ohtani gets ready to face Desmond, Iannetta, and Tachman. He and Desmond a right-handed batter, and the first pitch, and that one moves him off the plate. A fastball missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Shohei 20 pitches in the first inning. Topped out at 98 miles an hour, and he was letting it fly with a very sharp slider cutting across and a big curveball thrown for a strike.
Next delivery a little bit outside and low with that one. 2 balls and no strikes. .2-0 pitch, and that one is lifted high, and it is hit deep out there into left center field, and it is gone. Nothing cheap about that home run. Ian Desmond, who had not had a single RBI all spring in 31 at-bats, but a guy who does have power, hits a leadoff home run. It's now 3-1 Angels.
A no-doubter, gauging velocity from what he saw in the first inning against his teammates. There's no doubt Ian Desmond had an idea as to how to square him up and what to look for and when to start and when to stop that swing. Wow.
So here is Chris Iannetta. Iannetta's having a good spring with Colorado, and he takes that pitch inside. 3 home runs for Iannetta out of the 5 hits that he's had this spring, hitting .294. Here's the pitch, and he went after that one and misses it for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good season for Iannetta behind the mask last year with the D-backs and also with the bat. 17 home runs.
Here's Ohtani's pitch that comes in, and it gets a piece of Iannetta, so he's hit by the pitch. Looked like it got him around the hands. Appears to be okay.
Suffered a big scare. Also see him flinching there if you were watching the game on TV when he got hit in the face. So he's wearing that face guard also, as many players are doing nowadays across their helmets.
So the batter now is Mike Tachman. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch, and that's a fastball. It's outside. So after the home run to Desmond, Iannetta's hit by a pitch. And now the Angels catcher Martin Maldonado wants to go out and have a word with Ohtani.
Here's what we saw between innings. As we're talking about Ohtani going behind the Angels dugout into that auxiliary locker room. So the fans kind of see somebody walking out of the tunnel. They're like, who's going to the mound? As it is customary, as mentioned earlier, in Japan, you're allowed to warm up in front of the dugout with 2 outs when you're on the mound.
Here's the next pitch, and that's chased and missed. That was a high fastball that Tachman chased. He's had a lot of playing time here in the Cactus League for the Rockies. 45 at-bats coming into today's game.
Oh, he's ready.
Yeah.
They've had some good, impressive young men patrol the outfield for them.
There's a pitch that missed outside off speed delivery.
He totally overthrew that one, trying to make it too fine with that curveball. And hopefully a reminder from Martin about just getting back to what you were doing early in the game. Cannot let the home run, which will happen, just derail you.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he jammed him there. It was fouled off over on the left side, backing out of play. 30 pitches now thrown by Ohtani so far in this game.
This game being broadcast back to Japan.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery, and that's a little flare that's going to fall into right field. Wasn't hit that hard, just barely cleared the infield, but it's a hit. And Tachman is on, and still nobody out. Runners at first and second. Want to remind you, today's broadcast, copyrighted broadcast, presented by authority of Angels Baseball, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota, our producer engineer on the Angels Baseball Radio Network, is Jorge Sevilla. Our pleasure to spend this Friday afternoon with you wherever you're tuned in. Here's the pitch. This is chopped on a high hop on the first base side, and it's a foul ball. It hit off the foot of the batter, Jordan Patterson. Ball ended up going in fair territory, but caught a little piece of the batter on that right foot, it looked like. Infield playing it backed up. Ohtani's pitch, and that one is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Perhaps that might have caught Maldonado by surprise. Not that he was crossed up, but just how much that ball kept cutting in.
Even though the Angels lead this game 3-1 here in the second inning, 5 of the first 8 batters for the Rockies have reached base safely. And the pitch, and that one there, checking the swing, is Patterson, and it's called a ball. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Pretty much the same pitch, a little bit lower. And that time Maldonado, after seeing the previous one, had a better idea as to how that ball was cutting across and spinning on that plane.
Here's the 2-1 delivery, and that's another little pop that is going to take a bounce on the infield dirt and then carry him into shallow left field for a bloop hit, and they have runners everywhere. So the last 2 batters have not hit the ball very hard at all, but they've been able to get hits, and now Ohtani's in some deep trouble here with the bases loaded. One of the game's best hitters stepping up to the plate in Blackmon, and no outs.
The difference is you can go out there and get jammed or hit something at the end of the bat, but if the elevation of the pitch is favorable to you as a hitter, the ball will find the holes, go over somebody's head, and that's what's happening here. Needs to find a way to get the ball down.
So 3 on, no outs, 1 in. And Blackmon, who walked his first time up, leading up the ball game, digs in.
He saw a lot of high fastballs in that first at bat.
First pitch, and that was high. It was off speed. It missed badly. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
As free and easy as he looked in that first inning, this has been a little bit more methodical.
Well,
you
got
a little more mechanical this inning.
I think it goes back to the first batter he faced in the inning. He gave up the home run, and here's the next pitch. That one is chopped by the mound, just out of the reach of Kinsler. That's going to be a 2-run base hit for Blackmon, and that's going to tie up the game. Just out of the reach of Kinsler. It's not like other than the home run to lead the inning up, they really punished the baseball, but they're getting hits to drop in, and now we'll have a meeting at the mound with the game tied at 3, and the next batter will be LeMahieu.
It'll be Charles Nagy and Ippei, translator, for Shohei Ohtani, along with his teammates out there on the mound, with another visit being counted and kept on record by John Tom Payne, home plate umpire. What's happened to anybody at any level, this is what big league teams do. Capitalize on those opportunities, and this is what the Rockies are doing here. Soft hit or not, they're finding a way to get on the board, and they've done it.
So in this inning, they've had 5 batters bat. All of them have gotten on base safely. 4 of the 5 have had hits, and the other one that got on was hit by a pitch.
keeping track of the mound visits. There are 4 left for each team here. And usually you're not going to see a spring training game go beyond 9 innings. So it's the most we've seen in any spring training game so far by both teams.
Yep. And here is LeMahieu at the plate, and he was showing signs of bunting and then decided to hold up on that pitch, and a missed ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
Thinking safety squeeze there, DJ LeMahieu, who did not look good in the first sliders he saw in the first at bat.
Ohtani's next pitch, and that's fouled back.
That was letting loose with a swing right there. If we could see that replay, oh my goodness, he is saying, here comes that slider, and fortunately it was more in the outer third because LeMahieu was not getting cheated on that one.
LeMahieu, 29 years old. He's been an all-star. He's been a Gold Glover. Hit over 300 last year. 1-1 delivery. This is bounced on a hop over the mound, and that ball off the glove of Simmons, who stopped it behind second, tried to flip the ball over to Kinsler, but the ball got away, and that's going to be another hit and another run batted in, and now it's 4-3 Colorado.
They keep putting the ball in play. They keep finding holes just out of the reach of Anderson Simmons, who tried to flip it behind his back just to try to make the impossible play. It just didn't happen. And it's been an inning where Shohei has had to work a ton in trying to get back into better rhythm. The Rockies are not letting him get into rhythm. He's now at 20 pitches here this inning, 40 total.
And now the always dangerous Nolan Arenado at the plate. 2 on, still nobody out. In the first pitch, he takes it, and it misses ball 1. Five hits and a hit batter in the inning. Still no outs. 4 runs in and runners at first and second. Next pitch. That one is low and away.
Rockies came into today with a 288 team average here in Cactus League play and a 346 on base percentage. So what they're doing here is exactly what they've done throughout the spring in bunches with the regular players.
2-0 delivery, and that one is low, ball 3.
Rockies come in with 8 wins, 12 losses. Angels 9 wins, 13 losses.
Infield at double play depth. Here's the 3-0. He had the green light, and he swings and misses that one. Strike 1. That was a vicious swing by Arenado.
Buddy Black, green light. Gotta like that from your offense. Knowing pitching and what the approach should be from Ohtani, why not a green light?
Here's the next one, and this is chased and fouled back behind the plate. Arenado last year, 130 runs batted in, 87 extra base hits.
Totally underrated, Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? These guys are getting penalized for playing half of their games in Colorado. Did they choose to say we're going to put up bigger numbers there? Well, you know what? It just happens. They should not get penalized for where they're playing.
Arenado only 26 years old. Here's the 3-2, and that ball is blasted into left center field, and it is going to go. The second home run in the inning, a 3-run shot. And in this inning, the Rockies have scored 7 runs. They lead at 7-3.
Well, we clearly talked about it in our TV open, in our radio open, Terry, about the lineup he was facing today. It's unforgiving. And he is quickly finding out after a smooth first inning, striking out 2 out of 5 batters, but 1 home run by Ian Desmond has set pretty much the tone here for the rest of the inning against Ohtani in the second. They are deep and they are dangerous, and they can go deep.
Still no outs in the inning. 7 runs in the inning, and at the plate is Story, the 8th batter in the inning, and he takes ball 1. The Angels have gotten action in the bullpen. Ohtani's at 47 pitches. And here's the delivery, and that's a breaking ball in there for a called strike. Tyler Warmoth, up from minor league camp, is the pitcher who's warming up. So not the day that Ohtani was hoping for today here facing the Rockies. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back just above us, out of play.
Or Mike Scioscia showing a lot of concern with his look out there in the Angels dugout on that railing.
For me, the Desmond homer starting off the inning is what kind of triggered what happened afterwards.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he just seems like he wasn't able to shake that home run. Here's the pitch, and that's waved and missed, and Story is a strikeout victim. That's the first out in the inning, and that's going to be the final pitch in the game for Ohtani. So Mike Scioscia is headed out to the mound. We'll have a pitching change here in the second. When we get back, it's 7-3 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. For the Angels, Tyler Warmoth, a young right-hander, and Warmoth is getting ready to work for the 5th time this spring. We have seen him in limited innings of work. So he's ready to go, and here's the pitch. At the plate is Parra, and the first pitch misses for a ball. Only an inning and 2/3 of work for Warmoth in the 4 appearances coming into today. So he's been in just to kind of get the final out of an inning. In this case, the Angels hoping to get the final 2 in this one. A rough day today for Shohei Ohtani.
And that's after a promising start in the first inning. Rockies made him pay for every mistake out over the plate.
There's a pitch a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch on par, and that one is outside, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. We'll give you Ohtani's numbers in just a moment. And there's a pitch in there for a strike. So the count's full. It's now 3-2. Tyler Warmoth last season, Inland Empire, AAA Salt Lake, just 1 relief appearance, and he spent a lot of time at AA Mobile. So he was throughout the Angel system for the most part a year ago. Here's a fly ball lifted into left field. Routine play under, and making the grab on that one is Justin Upton, and that'll be the second out. Ian Desmond, who started the whole inning off with the home run against Ohtani, gets ready to bat for the second time here in the second inning.
About that, Desmond came into today hitting .091. I think that home run could probably change his outlook for the spring, as he builds confidence off of that 1 at bat.
Yeah, he had not had an RBI all spring. Counts 1 ball, no strikes on him. And the next pitch, that's a ball that's hit well to left field. It's out by the wall out there in left field, and that one is gone in left field. So Desmond has had a 2-homer inning. And now it's 8-3 Colorado.
Boy, get the record books here for the Cactus League. Against Ohtani, a towering shot well over the berm. This one, a line drive shot into the berm.
Now, Desmond had 1 extra base hit all spring, and he's had 2 home runs in this inning.
Well, he's a proven hitter.
Yeah.
Just got off to a bad start.
Yep.
Takes 1 at bat, 1 good BP. Location, loading, timing, and get your eyes ready, and that's it. He is no stranger to hitting home runs in regular season.
Rockies have had 3 home runs in this inning, and they lead by 5. There's ball 2 on Iannetta. 2 balls, no strikes. He was hit by a pitch earlier in this inning. Here's the next delivery. That one's inside. It's hard to believe the Angels took a 3-0 lead into this inning.
It is hard to believe. Rockies, Buddy Black. Good old Buddy Black. What a job he's done for that team and for the entire organization.
There's a pitch in there for a called strike.
And of course, the Angels are playing consecutive days against the Rockies. Angels beat the Rockies yesterday 10-8 over at Salt River Field.
And there is ball 4, and Iannetta on base for the second time in the inning. Tachman will be the batter.
Iannetta came into today with a .500 on base percentage. Those 3 home runs and 7 RBI.
Well, this inning began with the first 7 batters all reaching base safely. And 8 runs have scored in this inning, and it's 8-3 in favor of Colorado. We're only in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. That's a shot into right field. That's going to fall in for another hit. So Tachman has had 2 hits in this inning, and the 9-hole hitter Jordan Patterson will step up with runners at first and second.
They've had 3 batters. They have hit twice this inning. All have gone on base. Terry, get the wide out, by the way. You already did, I see.
Forced to. Too many guys have batted in this inning. Here's a pop-up into very shallow left field. Coming in hard, making the catch, coming way in, is the left fielder Justin Upton, and he will make the grab on that one. And the inning mercifully comes to an end. But not before the Rockies put 8 on the board. And in the inning, they sent 13 to the plate. We are going to the bottom of the second. It's 8-3 Colorado on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the second, it is an 8-3 Colorado lead. And the first batter up for the Angels will be Chris Young, who made his debut in the night portion of the split squad affair yesterday, and that was against the White Sox. And in that game, Young was 1 for 3 with an RBI. There he swings and fouls one off over by the photo well just past the Rockies third base dugout. So the numbers today on Ohtani: went an inning and a third. He gave up 7 hits, a walk, he hit a batter, allowed 2 home runs and 7 earned runs in an inning and a third. Tough day for the Japanese right-hander, and the pitch that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. Ohtani faced 13 batters today, and it looks like 9 of them ended up reaching base safely. Here's a pop-up near the mound. The first baseman is under, and that is Ian Desmond. He'll make the catch on that one, and Chris Young is retired for the first out.
Also keep in mind, because of Ohtani's situation, the Angels do have their other starters pitching like it is a 5-man rotation. In other words, every time Ohtani takes the mound, there's also another Angels starter pitching. And today that was J.C. Ramirez pitching in a AAA game.
First pitch on Maldonado, the Angels catcher. He takes it for a ball. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. .1-0 pitch missed low and away. It's now 2-0 on Maldonado, and here's the 2-0 delivery. That's chopped foul over on the third base side. 2-1 to count.
Go back and look last year, Terry, at Maldonado's numbers, because I recall last year was the first time he had a chance to become an everyday catcher. And last spring, he struck out 20 times in 50 at-bats and hit 120.
Yeah, he really struggled at the plate. And there's a pitch in there for a called strike.
And the regular season came, and he was a different offensive player. Got off to a good start with a bat, pretty consistent all the way through about the All-Star break when things started to spiral downward. But he carried the load offensively for longer than, in fact, many people expected around Major League Baseball. Home runs, RBIs, of course, starts behind the plate. But boy, 20 Ks and 50 at-bats, new ball club, and you're the #1 catcher. Did not affect him at all.
Here's the 3-2. That one is fouled back to the screen. Hitting .258 this spring for the Angels. Couple home runs.
His counterpart, Rene Rivera, has had a very good spring with the bat.
Rivera this spring hitting nearly .350. 3-2 payoff again, fouled off again on the right side, backing out of play. Well, we'll see what lies ahead next week for Shohei Ohtani, because very tough outing today on the mound, and of course he has struggled mightily at the plate as well. And there's a pitch taken on a 3-2, and that's a called third strike on Maldonado. He's out looking, and that is out number 2.
Yes, the Angels will have to make a decision as to what is going to be best for Shohei in keeping that progression and getting him ready for the season. And according to how the numbers look, it's possible that he only makes, Terry, on schedule, if he stays on the schedule, only one more start against a big league team before the season begins.
Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike.
And then with the bat, obviously, tomorrow is not a scheduled day for him to hit, so it'll be on Sunday. Unless the Angels have other plans and getting him at bats in some of the minor league games, which is, of course, not unusual with anybody in camp.
Here's the 1-1. Kinsler tried to hold up, went around, and the count goes to 1-2. Well, German Marquez, who's pitching for the Rockies, he had a shaky first inning, but seems to have found himself here in the second. Plus, he's working now with a 5-run lead, and that one is low and away.
He came in with a 10.57 ERA.
Rockies actually got Marquez a couple years ago from Tampa Bay. It turned out to be a good move by them.
It was part of the Corey Dickerson trade. Nice find.
Yeah, Dickerson's no longer with Tampa Bay, so that worked out very nicely for the Rockies. Here's the 2-2, and just getting a piece of that one, fouling it off in the batter's box is Kinsler.
But Dickerson became an all-star with Tampa Bay.
Dickerson now with the Pirates. Here's the 3-2, and that just missed. Kinsler on for the second time. It's a 2-out walk. Second walk allowed by Marquez, and here is Mike Trout.
That is all Kinsler has been doing, getting on base, playing his 12th game, and his on-base percentage is close to 500.
First one on Trout. He takes a little low and outside off speed pitch. 50 pitches already for German Marquez. Long look in for the sign. Now the Rockies right-hander is set. Little toss over to first base. Kinsler gets back to the bag in plenty of time.
Trout took a big swing, a pretty good swing too in that first inning when he flew out to center field. Seems like the ball took off, then it kind of died as Blackman made the play in center field. Looking more middle, the other way now.
Next pitch, and Trout thought that might have been a little high, a little outside, but that call goes against him. 1-1 the count.
Many things that make Mike Trout special is his mindset. He is not afraid to getting jammed.
Here's the next pitch. He chops that one over the mound. It's stopped by the shortstop. The throw is a little bit low by Story. It was handled by Desmond, but he came off the bag, and Trout is safe at first base. So the inning will continue. Ball wasn't hit all that hard by Trout, and now Upton will have a chance to do something. They're going to give Trout a hit on that one, an infield single.
Story playing slight pull on Mike Trout. Big swing by the strong Mike Trout, and off the end of that, it'll place to Trout's advantage going towards first base, using that speed.
So here's Upton, who struck out his first time up and takes that one for a called strike.
Hey, yeah. Nice cold.
Infield is back for the Rockies. 2 outs in the inning, and the Angels need some runs. Down early 8-3 in the bottom of the second. It's a pitch that's low and away. Angels starter Shohei Ohtani retired only 4 batters and gave up 7 hits, including a couple homers and 7 runs today. Here's the 1-1, and Upton pops it up foul back behind the plate, and this is going to get back to the seats out of play.
Somebody made a play.
Yep. And behind home plate, getting a souvenir baseball.
It was going to be a boo or the claps, and I'm glad it was a claps.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. And here's the pitch. That one is a pitch that Upton tries to hold up on, went around, struck him out, and that's how the inning will end. So a pair of strikeouts in this inning as well for Marquez, and the Angels will leave a couple runners on base to end the bottom of the second. The third is next. It's 8-3 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Ohtani is back out there to work here as we start the third, and his first delivery in there for a called strike.
To mention Ohtani, it seems like he has made his way out to the bullpen to complete his work. You can see it from out here, out on the bullpen mound for only 50 pitches today.
There's one that's fouled off by Blackman. Back to the screen, and the count quickly jumps to no balls and 2 strikes. Angels reliever coming out of Florida State, was not drafted, but signed by the Angels, and that was back in June of 2016. And
he just lingered, just goes out there and pumps it up, lets it go.
Yeah. Next pitch, and that's a little bit outside. Mentioned he's appeared in a handful of games now for the Angels this spring, and got up to AAA last year in his second pro season. Here's the next pitch, and that's inside. It misses. 2-2.
Angels, Rockies. We'll see each other again in the regular season. Angels, in fact, will be back here in the Valley of the Sun for the summer. A couple of games against the Diamondbacks.
Yep. Angels will have a 2-2 series against Arizona, home and away during the regular season, and a 2-2 series against the Rockies, home and away. And Angels will play at Coors Field in May. Pretty early May. It still might be cold in Colorado then.
Let's be ready.
Here's the pitch, and on the 3-2 delivery, that one is chased and missed, and out for the first time in the ball game is Charlie Blackmon. Struck him out. There's one away, and LeMahieu will be the batter. We want to remind Angel fans to join us on Monday, April the 2nd, and Tuesday, April the 3rd. The Angels will take on the Cleveland Indians with game time at 7:07 each night. Fans will receive a wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. You can visit angels.com/promotions for details. LeMahieu takes inside, getting away from that pitch. He went down to a knee, and it's 1 ball, no strikes.
He's one of the best hitters in the game the last few years in the National League. He has a career .302 average, and he is a specialist in getting some hits the other way.
Here's the next pitch. He chops it out to Simmons. The Angels shortstop has it. His throw will easily cut down LeMahieu, and 2 are gone.
I almost want to say, Terry, come on, Simba, it's not that easy. Huh? Got his body in position early and made a play that perhaps not every shortstop can turn into a backhand. Just looks so routine. Like silk.
Here's Arenado. He's already had a pair of hits, including a 3-run homer.
Talk about Blackmon, Terry. Talk about Arenado in the conversation for the MVP. These guys have a chance to be in it for a long time.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Blackmon, free agent to be.
And the Rockies really did a good job in putting their bullpen together this offseason. Big acquisition of Wade Davis. Also brought in Brian Shaw, very good setup man for a number of years with the Indians. Here's the next delivery. That one is low.
Jake McGee.
Rolled over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had a nice deal, 3-year deal. Mike Dunn. Lefty was very good arm. Adam Ottavino, Chris Russin. Their bullpen last year, 10th in ERA in the National League, 4.40. Dodgers were #1 in the NL, 3.38.
1-2 delivery. Arenado chases that one, and another strikeout in the inning for the pitcher up from the Angels minor league camp, Tyler Warman. Nicely done here by him in the top of the 3rd. We're headed now to the bottom of the inning. It's 8-3 Colorado here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. batting here in the bottom of the third, down 8-3, and the first pitch he takes it for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Calhoun today with a 2-run homer that he hit to left center field. First homer this spring for him. Been hitting a lot of balls to the opposite field this spring.
So far paying off nicely to convince him it is one part of his game that just cannot go away during the regular season.
There's when he fouls off the screen, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's the type of foul ball you don't see a whole lot of Cole Calhoun when he's in full happy mode. Foul ball is a great indicator as to where his swing is and where the knob is to lead that swing.
2-1 delivery. He chases that off-speed pitch and misses it.
Sure, let's pick up the conversation about the relievers and the bullpen for Buddy Black and how he sees things structured. Open to see Wade Davis go out there and duplicate the numbers that have preceded him.
There's one that's chased and missed a high fastball, and Cole Calhoun is a strikeout victim. So Marquez is racking a few up here in the early going, 5 already out of the first 7 outs recorded against the Angels, and Simmons will be the next batter.
Original plan for Buddy Black going back to the first week of spring training: 5 starters, 8 relievers. He said he will carry 13 pitchers.
There's a pitch in there for a called strike. They had what Greg Holland closing games for them last year, and had over 40 saves last year, and he's a guy that's still out there right now trying to hook on with someone as a free agent.
Many think that his time is coming soon, as teams are getting a glimpse of what their bullpen is looking like, and perhaps needing that they need an established closer.
Here's the pitch. This is bounced off the plate. It's a fair ball. Playing the high hop over there and getting the throw in time over to first base is Story. Simmons is retired. 2 are gone here in the Angels' third, and Cozart will be the next batter.
Those bullpens, the Indians had the best bullpen in baseball. ERA of 2.89. And Terry, we knew the pieces, and we know why.
Yep.
Working back from Cody Allen and Andrew Miller, and all the way back. In fact, Brian Shaw, a big part of that.
Cozart at the plate takes strike 1. Next delivery, that's a flare. It's going to go into right field for a base hit. So Cozart on for the 2nd time today. A walk now, a 2-out single. Angels' 5th hit today. And Valbuena will be the next batter.
You know what? One thing too, Terry, is it doesn't hurt your bullpen when your starters are guys that give you a chance. They go deep, so the roles are way more settled. You don't have to plug along so much who's going to come out and pitch for you a couple of innings because somebody had a short outing, and it happens once in a while. But the Indians, I mean, because of their starting pitching, were able to have the right guys, right pieces, well utilized by Terry Francona. To have a bullpen that was dominant with set roles.
0-1 to count on Valbuena. Infield playing back. There's a toss over to first base. Back to the bag goes the base runner over there, Cozart.
Big talk about amongst bullpens nowadays is the Yankees and the fact that they have about 4 guys that can be closers for any team. Yankees were 3rd in bullpen ERA last year.
Here's the pitch, grounded sharply foul over on the right side.
The Red Sox had a pretty good year also with their relievers.
We'll see what happens with the Angel bullpen. Still some things a bit unsettled right now as far as you were talking about roles. It's nice to have pitchers in certain roles. Of course, last season, because of numerous reasons, injury related, maybe a lack of Successful pitching by some in the bullpen. Mike Scioscia had to do a lot of juggling in his pen. Did a good job of doing that, but you would like to have things more crystallized in that bullpen.
That's what we're talking about. Starting staff dictates a lot of that.
Two strikes here on Valbuena. Arenado, the third baseman, with the shift on the right side. Third baseman's playing in the shortstop area, and here's a fly ball that's lifted out to center field. Camping under, making the grab on that one is Blackman, and that's how the inning will end. Not a whole lot going on. The Angels had a 2-out hit and leave a runner at first base. So 3 in the books. We're headed to the 4th. Angels trail Colorado 8-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Cam Bedrosian is going to be the third Angel pitcher of the day. So he replaces Tyler Warmoth, who worked an inning and 2/3. The pitcher up from minor league camp allowed a couple hits, a run. The run came on the home run by Desmond, and along the way, a walk and a couple strikeouts for Warmoth. So here's Cam Bedrosian. We were talking about the Angels bullpen a few minutes ago, and this is a pitcher who figures prominently in the Angels pen, and Bedrosian has had 4 scoreless innings so far this spring.
Well, Warmoth's got to feel good about 2 big strikeouts against Charlie Blackman and against Nolan Arenado to finish off the 1-2-3 third inning.
Here's the first pitch from Bedrosian, and that's lined into right field off the bat of Story, and he is on with a leadoff single. So the 10th hit already for the Rockies in this game.
Dwayne Espy, as a hitting coach, has got to be quite proud of what he is seeing, one at bat after the other from these Rockies here today. Now hitting close to 300 as a team as we stand here.
Here's Parra, who's gone 0 for 2. We'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard for you in just a moment. It's powered by the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a newly redesigned exterior and 31 highway MPG. Test drive one today. Here's the pitch. Inside, it misses ball 1. And in the Cactus League today, White Sox and Cubs scoreless in the 3rd. A's lead the Indians 2-1 in the 5th. Rangers up on the Mariners 6-5 in the 3rd. Reds leading the Brewers 7-2 in the 4th. Royals have a 2-0 lead against the Padres in the 4th. D-backs leading the Dodgers 3-1. That's in the 4th inning. Toss over to first, and back to the bag goes Story. In Florida today in the Grapefruit League, we do have a lot of finals. The Phillies split squad played to a 6-6 tie against the Tigers. The other Phillies split squad lost to Toronto 6-4. Here's the pitch, and that's outside. Twins split squad lost to Tampa Bay 11-1. Their other split squad will be playing the Red Sox later on tonight under the lights. Cardinals split squad lost to Washington 4-2. Their other split squad, the Cards split squad, beat Miami 4-2. And there's one that misses high for a ball. It's now 3-0. And the other scores, Pirates over Atlanta, 12-9 the final there. Mets and Baltimore played to a 4-4 tie. Yankees and Astros will be playing under the lights tonight in the Grapefruit League. And the pitch, fly ball, hit well into right field. Going back is Cole Calhoun. He looks up, and that one is gone. So the 4th home run of the day for Colorado, a 2-run shot by Parra. And now the lead grows. It's 10-3 Rockies.
Welcome side here for Buddy Black and his ball club, Gerardo Parra. Goodness, solid player all the way around, and really pretty much beating the clock. And when he was supposed to be back on the field swinging a bat and driving the ball like this after that hamate bone surgery back in February. Wow. Good hitter and a plus defender.
So here we are in just the top of the 4th inning, and every Colorado batter in the lineup has at least one hit, and every batter in their lineup has scored at least 1 run. And we're in the 4th inning. At the plate is Desmond, who's had 2 home runs, and he did it in the same inning last inning, and he takes that one for a strike. The Parra homer came on a 3-0 pitch at a green light, did Parra.
Manager credit. Let him swing. Buddy Black knows what's coming from Bedrosian.
There's the pitch low.
Manager giving the player an edge in that count. And tremendous confidence, of course.
One ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch, that's a check swing by Desmond. He was holding.
Former shortstop. Numbers around the 20 plus home runs pretty much every season for him as a shortstop with the Washington Nationals. Signed a 1-year deal with the Rangers when he just could not find the right match. Market demands to play the outfield.
There's a pitch he tried to hold up on a 2-2, went around, so that'll be a strikeout, and that is out number 1 in the inning.
And that 1 year playing the outfield for the Rangers pretty much set him straight to get the deal he got from the Rockies.
So here's Iannetta.
Co-owner of Jack Winery in Napa Valley.
Yeah, he and a former teammate of his, a couple ex-Angels, as it turns out, Vernon Wells, they turned a hobby into a business.
Yes, they did, doing well. In fact, Chris Iannetta was telling me that the fires on Atlas Peak came right up to the house of the vineyard. But luckily, only some trees and underbrush burn. Wines in the house were okay. Wines are great. He says Robert Parker, Terry, gave them and some of their blends high points, 92 and 95. How about that?
Yeah. Well, if you're great in the 90s in that wine industry, you're going to do okay. The reviews are real good when you do that.
Well respected. Robert Parker getting him that those points.
2 balls and 1 strike here on Chris Iannetta, the batter.
That's right, the batter. Who also happens to be a catcher.
And there's a pitch that he takes low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
behind the plate for Jared Weaver's no-hitter against the Twins over at the Big A.
There's a pitch that misses up and in, and he's on with a walk. So Iannetta, he hasn't had a hit today, but he's been on base every time he's batted. 2 walks and hit by a pitch. 1 out base runner, and Mike Tachman will be the next batter.
Terry, I know you're not looking for one, but in case you as a listener are looking for a new or used RV, swing into savings with a winning team at Giant RV. See their all-star selection of famous name RVs and save thousands now. Giant RV in Montclair, Murrieta, and Colton. Are you looking for one?
Well, I appreciate the heads up, Jose.
Yeah. I know you're always well connected, so. And you like to move around, state to state, so just let us know, T.
1-1 to count here on Tachman.
Whatever you need.
There's Bedrosian's pitch, and that one is fouled back behind the plate. I know we mentioned it on the Open today on Fox Sports West. I'm not so sure we brought it up on the radio side, but wanted to wish you a happy birthday, Jose. And fans were kind of serenading you before the ball game today.
Terry, you have a strong voice because the word got around very quickly. Thank you very much. And all of you that have sent your birthday greetings, truly, truly blessed. Thank you.
There's a pitch low. It skips away from Maldonado, and that'll easily advance Iannetta to second on the wild pitch. So Bedrosian, who had done a good job in the first 4 outings this spring, he's having a little tougher go here today.
Which, of course, I'm happy to share my birthday. It's already reminded this morning with Mrs. Mike Sosha.
That's right.
And
they're the same date.
Got a message already from one Vladimir Guerrero. Reason is, he says, I'll never forget your birthday because it is also Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s birthday.
There you go.
So thank you, a Hall of Famer. Vlad Guerrero.
Yep. And someone even baked you a little something this morning.
There's a few things.
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
No doubt.
Brought you some freshly baked coffee cake to the ballpark this morning.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Cupcakes, Kent French, Pollo, everybody. I'll be weighing a few more pounds tomorrow, but that's okay. I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, you can work it off.
I was able to have enough air in my lungs to blow this candle here. Gonna have to light it up again.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count here on Tachman as Bedrosian will make his 20th pitch in the inning, and this one is fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Today, Ohtani, who got roughed up in just an inning and a third, he threw 50 pitches today and recorded only 4 outs.
And he is still throwing, or was up to a few minutes ago, back in the Angels bullpen to complete his work. And there's something, Terry, that remember his manager talked about, Hideki Kuriyama. He said the one thing that it's going to be so different for him in spring training is his bullpens in Japan were over 100 pitches.
Right.
Spring training bullpen, sometimes up to 200. And he told us that in the backfield the first week of spring training. So the workload way different, which has been an adjustment here for Shohei.
Tachman just chased a 2-strike pitch and missed it for a strikeout, so the 2 outs here in the inning have come on strikeouts.
Hideki Kuriyama, manager of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters in the Japanese Pacific League, paid a visit here to camp early. And his team, that team, Nippon, was actually working out over at Salt River Field at Talking Stick, doing some of their spring training work early in the spring. And Shohei got to visit with his former teammates.
Batter here is Jordan Patterson. here's the pitch, and that one is in there. You look at this inning, and there really haven't been many balls hit in play here in this inning. It was the leadoff single, and then Parr hit the 2-run homer, then a strikeout, then a walk, then another strikeout.
As a hitting coach, you're going out there reviewing this game and saying, guys, we did a little bit of everything, and look at the results. It's Dwayne Espy is watching us team so closely here today.
Tying away from Bedrosian. Cam Bedrosian, a year ago, 4.43 ERA.
Battled through some early spring training groin issues dating back to last season. Now fully recovered.
There's the pitch that's chased and missed, and the count is now 2-2. And the save department last year, Bedrosian had 6 saves, but in 11 save opportunities. So his success rate was just 55%.
You know, the thing to keep an eye on that is that those 11 save opportunities come in the 9th inning. But certainly a guy that for years has been talked to perhaps an Angels future closer and just has not panned out.
Just missed low on a 2-2, so it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Keep in mind, the one guy around this time last year, nobody talked about on getting the bulk of the save opportunities, ended up really being the Angels closer, and that was Bud Norris.
Right.
And who would have thought that?
Well, the Angels went into last spring thinking Houston Street was going to be the guy, and in his very first appearance last spring, he walked off the mound injured, and that ended up kind of telling you what the season was going to amount to. He never really factored into anything from a closer situation last year with the Angels. And there's ball 4 on Patterson, so Bedrosian is in a little pattern now of walking and striking out batters, and Mike Socia, after pitch number 27 from Bedrosian in this inning, is going to go to the bullpen, and Bedrosian's day is done. So we have a break in the action here in the 4th. When we get back, it's a 10-3 Colorado lead. Pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fourth one of the day. Bedrosian goes 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, 1 home run allowed, and the 2 runners on base are the property of Cam Bedrosian. So Like Parker tightened things up as far as that beard of his. A little bit of a new look. He is out there on the mound and getting ready to work here in his 6th game this spring. Numbers have been off a bit, and the pitch, a fly ball lifted into left field. It's playable out there and a few feet from the rim of the track. Making the grab is Justin Upton. One pitch gets Blackman, and the inning is over. In the inning, they got the 2 runs on the homer by Parra and had a pair of hits. We are headed to the bottom of the 4th here in Tempe. The Angels down 10-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. So the Angels getting things started here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and the first batter is Chris Young. First pitch was in there. Next delivery lifts this one in the air into left center field. Coming in, making the running catch is Gerardo Parra, and that'll be the first out.
Good read right off the swing, off the end of the bat, and of course off the sound off the bat by the veteran and Gold Glover Gerardo Parra. There's Buddy Black on the mound. He's got a nice message for his youngster, Terry. I'll be proud of him.
So that's going to be it for Marquez. He will be lifted. They just wanted him to get up and start the inning, retire the first batter he faces, and they'll go to the bullpen. We have a break in the action. We get back. Angels still batting here in the 4th, trailing 10-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher used to be in the Angels system, Jairo Diaz, now pitching for the Rockies, and the first delivery was in there on Martin Maldonado. That one there, he is checking on. It missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Former catcher Jairo Diaz from Venezuela.
He's had a battle back from Tommy John elbow surgery. That was back in the spring of 2016. And he got into 4 games last year for the Rockies. Only 5 innings with them last year. One time, a guy, Jose, threw that fastball up to 100 miles an hour. We saw it firsthand.
Saw him briefly as an Angel, but saw him a lot here in minor league camp and also filling in for some big leaguers in spring training.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's outside a slider.
Good cut fastball there by Jairo Diaz, and traded by the Angels for Josh Rutledge back in 2014.
Here's the next pitch. That's drilled into center field. Going back is Blackman. Has a beat on it, though, and he will run it down. His momentum takes him out onto the warning track. Caught it several feet in front of the track. That's the second out.
The guy's a gamer, man. He is right out of that Cole Calhoun mold and the way he plays the game. The Dallas, Texas native.
Numbers on Marquez, their starter. He went 3 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs, and along the way he walked 2. Strikeout department, he had 5. Threw a wild pitch and gave up a home run.
Ends up being a very good outing for him after even allowing 3 runs through the first 5 batters. Settled down, found the zone, got into a great rhythm. Came in with an ERA of 10.57, but 11 game winner last year for German Marquez with those 14 quality starts.
Here's the pitch from Diaz. That was inside as he faces Ian Kinsler, who's batting for the 3rd time today.
Well, the big element of Marquez's game is his strikeouts. 147 led all Major League Baseball rookies last year.
2-1 pitch. That's inside. 3-1. Diaz is working for the 6th time this spring. 5 scoreless innings for the Rockies, allowing just 1 hit coming into this ball game.
He just lost at least 15, 20 pounds.
And the next delivery, that's going to be ball 4. A fastball misses. So Kinsler on base again, 3rd straight time today. And here's Mike Trout, who's 1 for 2. Big inning today for the Rockies. That was inning number 2. 13 batters batted in that inning. 8 of them scored. Here's the pitch. That's right in there, a called strike.
That's after Ohtani threw 20 pitches in the 1st inning. Struck out 2 batters, walked a batter, allowed a hit, and worked himself out of trouble. And things quickly turned around after the leadoff home run by Ian Desmond leading off that 2nd inning.
7 of the 8 batters he faced in that 2nd inning reached base safely, and Trout just fouled one off on the right side for strike 2. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Angels on the move, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight partner of the Angels and Major League Baseball.
Two strikes to count on Trout. Here's the pitch. He checks on that one. It's a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yet to get the official attendance today, but we are in sellout range, you got to think. Big crowd today, over 8,000 here anyway.
Nice shady afternoon for them.
And the next delivery, that's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch, and that one missed, and a snap throw by the catcher Ionetta to first. Kinsler gets back. It's a full count now on Trout if he keeps the inning alive. Upton waiting on deck. Well, yesterday, the first Angels game of the split squad day, the Angels put a 10 spot on the Rockies today. They've done it here against the Angels in Tempe, and the pitch lifted in the air into center field, but Blackman is right there to make the grab, and one center fielder retires another. The inning is over. Angels have a pretty quiet fourth. The fifth is next. 10-3 Colorado on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports Web. Fifth inning set to get underway. Blake Parker on the mound. DJ LeMahieu, the second baseman for the Rockies, at the plate. First pitch right in there for a called strike.
The beardless now, Blake Parker. He thought he was been thinking about shaving the beard. Yes or no, yes or no. Then, of course, because ball players are not superstitious, he goes, after giving up 5 runs, that was it. Terry, that did it. Done. See you, beard.
There's the pitch on its way. That one is in there. He's got a little shadow going, but yeah, it's not a thick, bushy beard anymore, that's for sure. 0-2 is the count. And here's the next pitch. This is bounced deep in the hole at short. Simmons will stop it, but he has no throw. And even had he come up with that one cleanly, he was already back on the outfield grass. Fans, don't forget to join the Angels on Friday, April the 6th. The Halos will host the Oakland A's with game time 7:07 at the Big A. Fans will receive a Pujols countdown to 3,000 action figure courtesy of Muscle Maker Grill while supplies last. You can visit angels.com/promotions for details.
Albert Pujols, 32 hits to go to get to 3,000.
There's Arenado batting, and he takes that one for a strike. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a liner into left field that's going to fall in. So a couple of hits to start off the inning for the Rockies. Their bats have been sizzling today.
Number 27, Trevor Story.
13 hits already for the Rockies with no outs in the top of the 5th inning.
I thought we were going to say, with plenty of game ahead of us. which is the truth.
Well, there is plenty of game ahead of us, but the first half of this baby hasn't gone very well for the Angels today.
The veterans are getting their work in for the Rockies with these sticks.
There's the pitch, and that one from Parker to Story. Takes it for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
He himself is a great story. 27 home runs as a rookie shortstop, most ever by a National League rookie shortstop. And his season was actually cut short by injury. Big time power.
There's a pitch in there for a strike. Hey, look at the Rockies games this spring, and they have had 3 games this spring where they've scored 10 runs or more and lost.
Wow.
And they've had a ball game where they've scored 15 runs. That's the most they've scored in a game.
Tell me they won that one.
They did. They
Okay.
beat Arizona in that one 15-6.
Well, yesterday they scored 8 runs. Of course, not double digits, but the Angels came back and beat them 10-8.
Yep. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Story. 2 on. Nobody out, and Parker's next delivery, that's low, smothered by Maldonado. Other than the pitching moves in this game, none of the hitters have been taken out yet, but the bats are starting to rack up in this ball game, especially for the Rocky batters. They've had 3 of them already bat 4 times today, and here's one that's lifted in the air down the left side, and that's a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way down into the corner. It's going to score 1. Throw to the plate is cut off. It's going to score 2, and another hit for the Rockies. A 2-run double off the bat of Story, and the lead increases to 12-3.
One happy Rocky to see Shohei out of the game was Trevor Story. 2 at-bats against Shohei, 2 strikeouts. After that, Bedrosian, he got the single to right, and now against Parker, his 7th double already of the spring. 2 more RBIs. That gives Trevor Story 8 RBIs here in Cactus League play.
So here's Parra, who's had a 1-for-3 day. They hit a 2-run homer his last time up. That was last inning, and he takes the first pitch low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Three straight hits in this inning. Here's the next pitch, and that's right in there for a called strike. Happens on the next one to the lefty batter, and that one is outside. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. Angels will have a little road trip in Cactus League play coming up, and it will begin tomorrow with the Angels in Peoria to take on the Mariners, and then Sunday in Surprise to take on the Texas Rangers. There's a fly ball lifted into left field that Upton has a beat on. He'll make the grab a couple feet from the rim of the track out there. That'll be the first out, and Story will hold at second base.
Number 20, Ian Desmond.
So the batter now will be Ian Desmond.
Terry, thank you very much. Ken French, all of you, your birthday wishes. This really makes my day right here.
There you go, Jose.
I was able to have enough blow it out, so what a great view. Check that out, Terry.
That is your birthday cupcake.
You can start designing put some food right here, right in front of us.
Cupcakes are very popular these days, so that was a good little treat for you. There's a pitch that's low, and it bounces back to the screen. That'll be a wild pitch, and Story moves over to third base.
Just a little bit of everything here for the Rockies offensively. and pressuring the Angels.
Seems like ages ago the Angels scored a run on a balk.
It
was this game, wasn't it?
It was.
It was in the very first inning, and the Angels were off to a good start today, up 3-0 after one, and then it's like the roof caved in here.
Do you notice how the I-10 has gotten busier and busier with the patterns as this game drags along?
Yeah. 1-1 is the count.
Hope it's not bad news for you in your drive.
I'm anticipating a good hour drive today. Here's the next delivery. That one is low. But Friday traffic is bad everywhere these days, isn't it?
You're right.
So, fans back home who are tuned in, driving around SoCal, know what Friday traffic's all about. Infield is in. The next pitch, a check swing, a bouncer hit back near the mound. It's fielded by Parker. He will flip over to the first baseman Valbuena, and that'll be a check swing out to retire Desmond. So out number 2, the runner holds at third base. Iannetta will be the next batter. Iannetta, strange day for him. Been up 3 times, 2 walks, and he was hit by a pitch.
Knowing Chris well, you know how proud he is of what Marcus was able to do to reestablish that command and end up with a very decent outing out on the mound.
Yeah, it looked like the Rockies starter was headed for a real rough day today, and Ohtani's first inning was pretty good. He did pitch out of some trouble, but he had a scoreless inning, and then he only retired 1 more batter after the first inning.
Yeah, that was a quick flip for both.
Yeah.
Seems like Ohtani was the one who's going to be dominating through 4 or 5 innings.
There's a pitch in there for a called strike. 0-2 on Chris Iannetta.
Came into this game with a .500 on-base percentage.
He's always been a guy who walks a lot, and he's also always been a guy who gets hit by a lot of pitches. So his on-base percentage has always been pretty decent.
Pretty good presence in that bottom third of the lineup, wherever he is.
2-strike pitch, and boy, that was a close pitch there. It looked like strike 3, but it's called a ball. The Angels infielders, including Parker, were starting to walk off the mound thinking Iannetta was out on strikes.
The only person that did not move or flinch was Justin Upton in left field because he didn't have the best view.
So we talked about Iannetta having a pretty good eye, and he certainly had one on that last pitch. Here's the 1-2, and he took 1 too many. That one is a called third strike on the outside corner, and the inning is over. But they get a couple more in the inning, and we get ready to move it to the bottom of the 5th. Right now, it's all Colorado. They lead the Angels 12-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels ready to bat as we go to the bottom of the fifth. It's 12-3 Colorado. Justin Upton leads things off, and it's still Jairo Diaz pitching in the first pitch, and Upton can't believe that one was a strike on him. He stepped out of the batter's box, what's left of it, in disbelief. No balls, one strike.
Hasn't been the easiest of days for him with a couple of strikeouts.
Here's the next delivery. This is lifted in the air. It's hit well into center field. Going back on that one is Blackman, and that ball is gone.
That's what you do.
Boy, that one not too far away from our camera perch out there. A home run for Upton. That's his third one this spring, and the Angels get on the board for the first time since the first inning. It's now 12-4 Colorado.
Well, he took a few steps out of the batter's box, clear his mind, and did not like that first call after a couple of strikeouts. Did not want to find himself in the bigger hole, and went out there and made it a no-doubter. He was a clear-minded, clear swing, clear path, and see ya.
So here's Cole Calhoun, who's had the other Angel homer, and he lines a single into right center field on the first pitch from Diaz. So the first two batters for the Angels have hit the ball sharply here. Andrelton Simmons will be the next batter. We've already had 6 home runs hit in this game today.
About yesterday, too. So it's been a feast of homers for the Angels and the Rockies the last couple of days. Well, Terry, to our left is one of the best people around baseball. Paul Egan's is the director of Major League Operations for the Colorado Rockies. And the cool thing about that is his mom in Georgia is always watching the games. He is an original hire of the Rockies. Go figure. Hired back in 1991. So Paul Egan's a great friend and a great baseball man who's paid his dues. Native of Columbus, Georgia.
How about that? Looks like the Angels have a pinch runner over there at first base for Cole Calhoun.
It looks like E.Y. Jr.
So he is in the ball game now. Count on Simmons is 2 balls, no strikes. And the next delivery, and that was a pitch that was way inside. And Simmons lucky to get out of the way of that one. Moving up to second base is Eric Young Jr. on the wild pitch.
Fortunately, it was a breaking ball that Jairo Diaz just overthrew.
Boy, that one went sailing right over the helmet of Simmons, who got in a push-up once he went down.
Breaking ball or not, anything above the shoulder is always frightening.
Here's the 3-0, called strike 3-1. Three balls, one strike. 12-4 Rockies up on the Angels here in the bottom of the fifth. Next delivery. This is hit way up in the air near home plate. The catcher Iannetta flips off the mask and makes the grab on that one in the batter's circle, and that will be the first out. Zach Cozart will be the next batter. It's going to be somewhat interesting the rest of this ball game, because the only other pitchers that the Angels were slated to use today in the game that was started by Ohtani are all from minor league camp.
They'll get a chance to come out here and hopefully throw some zeros, show what they have, and perhaps get themselves another invite here in camp.
Yeah, so we're liable to see some new faces on the mound for the Angels the rest of the game. In all likelihood, Blake Parker's day is done.
In fact, some of the Angels' top prospects were part of a recent inter squad that happened here when Skaggs was on the mound and Tropiano was on the mound. Those guys are already in the backfields getting their games in. So Tropiano And he will be on the mound on Sunday against the Texas Rangers and lefty Martin Perez.
Here's the pitch on Cozart. Takes that one low.
Terry, and good to see John Lamb is going to get a chance to start a game. He has been terrific throughout this Cactus League play.
Yep, he'll start tomorrow, and that's going to turn out to be a battle of left-handers. Marco Gonzalez will go for Seattle in that game. Originally, we thought Casey Lawrence was going to pitch, but they've changed things up.
And for those two lefties, forget the radar gun. It won't matter tomorrow. They both spin the ball and change speeds quite well.
Here's the next delivery. It's lifted in the air. It's hit well out there in left field. And the ball's over the head of the left fielder. That's Parra being waved home, and coming in to score from second base on that one is Eric Young Jr. Cozart on for the third time today. RBI double, and the Angels get a little bit closer. It's now 12-5 Colorado.
Well, you can see where timing was the one thing affecting Zach Cozart early in the spring, as is customary for so many players. That bat on his shoulder, sometimes starting a little bit late. Now it's all on time. Home run yesterday, and today with the walk, the single the other way, and now drives the ball deep to left field. Valuable addition for the Angels. Zach Cozart, after hitting 24 home runs last year for Cincinnati.
So here's Valbuena at the plate, and the pitch, and that one is fouled back to the screen for a strike. Colin Walsh has come in to pinch run for Cozart at second. Zach Cozart, nice day today. On base 3 times, 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. Valbuena tries to hold up on that pitch, and they say he went around. The home plate umpire does, and Valbuena not too happy about it. The count's 0-2. So we'll look to see the Angels making some moves defensively when we get to the 6th inning already. A couple of players lifted for pinch runners in this inning. Here's the 0-2. That's chased and missed, and that is out, number 2 in the inning. First strikeout for Diaz in the game. Chris Young will be the next batter. We're talking about the Rockies franchise. Last year they celebrated their 25th anniversary as a major league club.
They did a very good job, starting from Mr. Manfred down as a family. Playoff team last year, the Rockies went to the wild card game and lost to the Diamondbacks, but 87 wins, 75 losses.
Well, before Coors Field was built, they used to play baseball at Mile High Stadium. Remember that?
That was fun. Got to play a few games there with AAA.
Yeah.
There was 370 down the right field line.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, popped in the air on the left side of the infield, and coming in making the grab not too far away from the mound is the third baseman Nolan Arenado, and that is how the inning will end. The Angels end up getting a pair in the inning and cut into the lead a little bit. It's now 12-5 Colorado. We head to the 6th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. field. And a new pitcher and a new catcher in the ball game as well. Justin Anderson, who's up for a minor league camp. We've seen him a little bit this spring. He will take over on the mound. The new catcher is Carlos Perez. New first baseman is Chris Carter. Colin Walsh stays in the game, and he replaces Ian Kinsler at second. David Fletcher is now the new shortstop. Jeffrey Marte, the new third baseman. Eric Young Jr. stays in the game. He's now on left. Reimer Liriano is the new center fielder, and Jabari Blash is the new right fielder. So changes everywhere. And Mike Tachman will be the first batter here to face Justin Anderson. And the first pitch, and that one on the left-handed batter, misses low for ball. Counts 1 ball, no strikes. We've seen Anderson pitch 3 other times for the Angels. He's actually gotten a win in relief this spring. 3 scoreless innings for him, allowing 1 hit with 3 strikeouts. And the pitch, that one is tapped foul right by home. The count's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Anderson replacing Blake Parker. Parker went an inning and a third. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. He had a strikeout. He also threw a wild pitch. Anderson ready to come in with the next one, and it's on its way, and the pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Anderson last year pitched Double-A Mobile, Class A Inland Empire, and his ERA last season in the Angels system was over 5. The pitch, this is hit on a hop near second, fielded by Fletcher, the new shortstop, and he will throw out the batter Tachman for out number 1.
Get that first one out of the way and get your confidence to build. Justin Anderson, out of Houston, Texas.
Played his college baseball at the University of Texas at San Antonio. This is his 5th season now in the Angels system. And here's the pitch. Pitch chased and missed for strike 1.
He was a 14th rounder back in 2014. And at one point a starting pitcher. As late as 2016, he made 27 starts.
There's a pitch, and that one there taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Last year in 46 appearances, all came out of the bullpen.
Here's the next delivery, and it's grounded on the first base side. It is a foul ball, and it looks like Patterson just cracked his bat right there. And the broken bat brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Look for Wonderful Pistachios at the Big A in your local grocery store or pharmacy. Now let's get cracking. As Patterson advances back to the batter's circle, we'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard for you on this Friday. It's brought to you by the Ram 1500. It's Ram Truck Month. Hurry in for a great deal or visit ramtrucks.com to check out the powerful Ram lineup. Update the Cactus League in just a moment. Pitch a little bit high. 2-2 the count. 6th inning, Cubs lead the White Sox 6-2. Also in the 6th inning, Indians and A's 2-2. 7th inning, Seattle leading Texas 8-6. 5th inning, Reds leading Milwaukee 8-3. And the 2-2 pitch, pitch chased and missed, and he got him, struck him out. So back-to-back batters retired here by Justin Anderson. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Blackman now, and this will be Ryan McMahon, who will be batting for Charlie Blackman, who went 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs today.
Ryan McMahon, one of the youngsters, really capitalizing on the opportunity he's been getting. Comes in hitting .327. He has played in 20 games already. 1 home run, 6 RBIs. On base over 350.
first baseman, who certainly has a shot to be on their roster when the season begins. Left-handed hitter, and the pitch, and that one misses for a ball. The other action in Arizona today, Royals up on the Padres 6-2 in the 6th. D-backs lead the Dodgers 3-1 in the 6th. We'll check out what's happening in Florida in the Grapefruit League. Most of the games are over. Some either just getting underway or later tonight. First pitch, or the next pitch, I should say, and that's a strike on McMahon. The count's 1-2. Two outs, nobody on. It's 12-5. Rockies here in the 6th, and the next delivery that's inside. 2-2.
For some of these youngsters, Terry, also cracking that roster is going to get a little tougher now. Let's not forget, they just added Cargo is back with the Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez, beloved in that community, in that clubhouse, and from the first week of spring training, veteran players just expressing how much they were missing him.
Here's the next delivery. It's softly hit right to second. Fielded there by Walsh. He will throw out the pinch hitter McMahon, and it's a nice clean inning here for Justin Anderson. A couple ground outs and a strikeout. We move to the bottom of the 6th. 12-5 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Brought in all substitutions now in this ball game, just like the Angels did. So they have a new pitcher on the mound, and he is a guy who figures to be a big piece of their bullpen, Jake McGee. And the first pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. David Fletcher is batting. And Fletcher is hitting out of the number 9 spot. That was Maldonado's spot. He went over for 2 today. There's a pitch in there for a called strike. And it's 0-2 on Fletcher. In the Florida Grapefruit League today, Phillies split squad and the Tigers played to a 6-6 tie. The other Phillies split squad lost to Toronto 6-4. Here's a shot by the mound, and that's going to bounce on through into center field. 2-strike single for David Fletcher, who keeps up his solid hitting this spring.
That's another day, another hit for Fletcher. That is, for him, he continues to lead the ball club now with 13 hits.
Other action in the Grapefruit League in Florida today. A Twins split squad lost to Tampa Bay 11-1. Their other split squad is just starting their game against the Red Sox, and Minnesota has a 1-0 lead in the first inning. Cardinals split squad lost to Washington 4-2, and their other split squad beat Miami 4-2. It was Pittsburgh beating Atlanta 12-9. Mets and Orioles played to a 4-4 tie, and later on tonight, Yankees will be taking on the Houston Astros. A lot of rumors in the Astros camp right now that Jose Altuve is on the verge of signing a long-term contract extension with the Astros.
Well deserved. One of the best players in the game. Day in, day out. The numbers prove it.
Here's Marte at the plate, and the pitch to Jeffrey Marte bounces in there and gets by the catcher Walters, and that's going to be a wild pitch, and that advances Fletcher up to second base.
Yes, Altuve should be at the, one of those top-ranked players in terms of his salary.
Numbers on Jairo Diaz, who McGee replaces here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Diaz worked an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, and along the way he walked a batter, had a strikeout, a wild pitch, and gave up a home run. Here's the next delivery, and that one on Marte misses again. It's now 3-0. Marte's batting for the first time today, hitting out a Kinsler spot. And Kinsler, another good day at the plate. On base safely all 3 times he batted. 2 walks, a single, and he scored a run.
Marte, long home run yesterday against the Rockies in their home ballpark. He was out for over a week and a half with a groin issue.
And the next delivery on him, that is ball 4. So a little something brewing here. First 2 batters on against McGee. Chris Carter will be the next batter. This will be his first time up, hitting out of Mike Trout's spot. Trout was 1 for 3 today.
McGee, another former member of the Tampa Bay organization, came over with Herman Marquez and the Corey Dickerson trade back in January of 2016.
The pitch that misses low for a ball.
He's got a plus arm out of the left side. Became a free agent, re-signed with the Rockies in a new 3-year deal. Made 62 appearances last year.
This is only his second appearance all spring for the Rockies, and the pitch, there's one that's hit in the air into center field. It was off the end of the bat, and initially going back on it and then having to come in and make the grab is the new center fielder out there, and that is Jonathan Daza. Liriano will be the next batter for the Angels with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Liriano hitting out of Upton's number 3 spot. Justin was 1 for 3 today with a solo homer. Staying in the ball game at first base for Colorado is Ryan McMahon. Their infield has a whole new look. Garrett Hampson is the second baseman. He just took that pickoff throw from McGee. And Fletcher got back. They have a new third baseman in the game. That is Daniel Castro. And they also have a new shortstop in the ball game, and that is Brendan Rodgers, who they're very high on. One ball, no strikes to count on Liriano.
Rockies got off to a good start last year, 16-10 to kick off the season in April, followed by a 17-12 record in May.
Here's the next pitch, and that is going to miss for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
At home, the Rockies average over 6 runs per game. On the road, they dropped down to 4.1 runs per game. ERA at home, 4.9. ERA on the road, 4.09.
Here's the next pitch, lifted in the air down the right field side. That is a foul ball. It's backing out of play.
Another outstanding rookie for them last season, Terry, was Kyle Freeland, who also won 11 games for the Rockies. Just like Marquez.
So the count's 2 balls and 1 strike here on Reimer Liriano. And the next delivery, that one is high. The rest of the changes in this inning defensively for the Rockies, their whole new outfield look. Noel Cuevas is the left fielder. Jonathan Daza in center, and the right fielder is Sam Hilliard. Counts 3-1 on Liriano, and the delivery that's in there for a called strike. Eric Young Jr. waiting on deck for the Angels. The one inning which really turned this ball game was the second, and that was the Colorado top of the second. 13 batters sent to the plate. They scored 8 runs in the inning. First 7 batters reached base safely in that inning against Ohtani. There go both runners, but the pitch is fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. It was a tough afternoon for Shohei Ohtani, who was pitching for the Angels in a Cactus League game for the 2nd time this spring. He's thrown in other games this spring.
His first outing actually was against minor leaguers in a simulated 2-inning game in the backfields. Then came the start in the Cactus League opener here in Tempe against the Brewers. After that, B game against the Brewers and B game against the team from Tijuana. And today back on the mound here in Cactus League. Promising start. First inning looked really good. Pumped it at 98 miles an hour. Second inning, just a different story. Rockies made him pay.
He gave up a home run to the first batter that he faced in the second, Ian Desmond, and that kind of opened up the door for the Rockies. The pitch fouled off on the right side. The runners were on the move again on a 3-2 pitch with 1 out.
Shohei had good stuff in that first inning. Fastball explosive. Slider buckled a couple of Colorado hitters. Really swiping away. Little wipeout action. There were a couple of very nice curveballs. And then second inning, just too much of the plate with everything. Just could not get himself in good counts. And got a little more mechanical as the inning progressed.
McGee just bluffed a toss to second base. Jake McGee, they list him at 6'4", 237. It's a little bigger than 237. He's a big guy. And on the next delivery, that one on the 3-2 misses ball 4. So the Angels have the bases loaded here with 1 out, trying to get back in this ball game.
Two big guys against each other, Liriano and Jake McGee.
Second walk in the inning. McGee's also had a wild pitch in the inning, so his control's been off. And now we'll see what Eric Young Jr. can do. Waiting on deck is Jabari Blash, and he bats. It'll be his first time up today. He's going to hit out a Simmons spot. Here's the pitch on Eric Young Jr. Takes it for strike 1. Angels in Peoria tomorrow against Seattle. And then Sunday in Surprise against Texas. Here's the pitch. That's fouled up on the right side, backing out of play. And the Angels take on the Mariners tomorrow. We'll still see them next week as well. They'll be here Monday for the night game at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The pitch, that one is low.
And they are banged up.
Game on Sunday against Texas. That'll be the final meeting between the Angels and the Rangers this spring. The Angels have only faced Texas once this spring, and then they have the game Sunday against them in Surprise. That'll be it until the regular season against the Rangers. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. I have no idea how many pitches have been thrown in this game, but there have been a lot, and there's still more coming.
Throw a number out there, Terry.
I have.
And then add another 20 to that.
Well, I do remember Ohtani threw 50 in just an inning and a third today. Here's the next delivery, and that one is chased and missed, and that'll be a strikeout on Eric Young Jr. So 2 outs here with the bases loaded, and we'll see what Blash can do.
And Bedrosian threw 27 in 2/3 of an inning.
Right. Well, we might as well go for the Cactus League record. What do you say?
Go for it. Yeah, the Angels were really good. In fact, talked about it a few broadcasts ago in terms of pitches made per game last year in the top 5 and lowest amounts in all the big leagues. Also mentioned before the game in our Fox Sports West Open about how the Angels pitchers have been piling up strikeouts here in Cactus League action.
Yeah, and even today, with this game as one-sided as it's been in favor of the Rockies, Angels pitchers already have 9 strikeouts today. Here's the pitch, and Blash goes down on that one, trying to get away from that pitch, and I believe they say it hit him. Home plate umpire John Tumpain signals to Blash, you can go to first base, hit by the pitch, with the bases loaded to force in a run. So now it's a 12-6 Colorado lead.
Jabari wanted to hit, can't blame him.
He'll get an RBI on that one. Colin Walsh will get set for his first at bat of the day.
Terry, and the pitches just keep coming at you.
Oh. So let's see what Walsh can do. He's hit some home runs this spring. He hits this one on the ground. It's stopped by the shortstop, and Rogers flips to Hampson, and they get the force out on Blash, and the inning ends on the 6-4 fielder's choice. So the Angels in the inning come up with 1 and end up leaving the bases loaded. We're headed to the 7th. It's 12-6 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Had a 1-2-3 inning. So he gets ready to face Cuevas, who's batting for the first time today. He came in to take over for them in left field, and the first pitch of ball on him to count 1 ball, no strikes. Joel Cuevas hitting out of LeMahieu's spot, and he was 2 for 4 with a couple runs scored and an RBI. And there's a liner that's hit right at David Fletcher, the shortstop, and he holds his ground and makes the catch on that one for the first out. Rogers will be the next batter. Angel fans, don't forget to get your red on. Experience Angels baseball according to your schedule. Choose the games you want with the 20-game flex plan. Just call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/ticket plans. Next delivery, and that one bounces in, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
This is the cream of that farm system. Brendan Rogers. Talent everywhere. Out of Winter Park, Florida. First rounder in 2009.
Next pitch to him, he takes that one for ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Last year he just kind of tore through the COL League as a 20-year-old. He hit .387 last season. And the next delivery, that one hits him. Hit by the pitch.
A little typo here, Terry. And, he was Colorado's first round in 2015.
So Rogers getting plucked right around the bat, around the waist. So 1 out base runner, and here is Sam Hilliard getting ready to bat. He's hitting out of Trevor Story's cleanup spot. Story was 2 for 4 today with 2 runs batted in. And the pitch on Hilliard, that's in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Next delivery, that one is sliced down the left field side. It's going to drop foul out of the reach of Eric Young Jr., who's playing left field for the Angels.
He was a player that has been pretty impressive. Hilliard. Since the first time we saw him take the field early in camp. Stands 6'5", 241 pounds from Mansfield, Texas.
And he can really run for a big guy. 37 stolen bases last year in A-ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Angels have Jonah Wesley up in the bullpen, another pitcher up from minor league camp today, and there's one that's inside.
Hilliard's dad played football at the University of Texas, and his mother was Miss Texas 1984 and runner-up to Miss America.
Wow. One out, infield is backed up, counts 2-2. Hilliard struck out a lot last season in the minors. And here's the 2-strike pitch. He makes contact on that one, fouls it off into the Angels dugout.
He's a guy that should be moving up through the ranks fairly quickly as he progresses. Because of his age, he could be challenged here very soon throughout the organizational ranks.
He's hitting over 400 for the Rockies this spring. Going to toss over to first, and diving back to the bag goes Rogers, the 1-out base runner. Here's the next delivery, and that one is chased and missed, and he got him off speed, struck him out. So that is another strikeout for Angels pitching, the second in the game for Justin Anderson.
They keep piling up with those strikeouts. And Anderson, let's come out here and just let it go with that fastball. You got him right by Hilliard.
Here's the next delivery, and this is bounced on the right side. Walters the batter. It hits off the glove of Carter. He picks the ball back up and beats the batter to first base, and that will end the inning. So a couple of scoreless innings today by Justin Anderson, and he retires 3 out of 4 here in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time in Tempe. The Angels trying to get some runs on the board, down by 6. 12-6 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. For the Rockies as we start the bottom of the 7th inning, and it is left-hander Chris Russin who did a good job in relief for them a year ago. First batter he faces is Angels catcher Carlos Perez, who's batting for the first time. He's hitting out of Valbuena's number 7 spot. Luis was 0 for 3 today, and the first pitch taken for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Next delivery a little bit low. 2-0 the count. Russin in 60 games last year, 5-1 record, 2.65 ERA. Finesse lefty, doesn't throw very hard. Here's his next pitch, and that one is high and outside. 3-0 the count.
Fastball tailing away. Good job there by Carlos, taking and tracking that ball all the way into that glove. Russin out of the University of Kentucky.
3-1 the count here on Carlos Perez. Here's the next pitch. That's a line shot right at the shortstop, Rogers. And he will hold on to that one. Boy, Carlos Perez couldn't hit that ball any harder. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
He's making good contact all throughout the spring. In limited time, Carlos Perez, who was, keep in mind, out of options.
So the Angels are going to have a pinch hitter for the DH, Chris Young, who was 0 for 3. And batting is Jose Briseño. We have not seen a whole lot of at-bats for him this spring. He's a catcher in the Angels system, and the first pitch he takes it for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
And quietly, it kind of escapes us. Briseño was part of the trade that brought Anderson Simmons from the Braves.
Yep, sure was. Known as a solid defensive catcher, good catch and throw guy. The spring, only 2 at-bats for him coming into today, 0 for 2, but he has driven in a run. One ball, 1 strike to count. Here's the next pitch, and that's waved at and missed, and the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. One-two delivery was outside. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jose Briseño. Played at AA Mobile, AAA Salt Lake last year. Hit under 200 though between those 2 stops, and the pitch lifts this one in the air into left field. Coming in and now under, making the grab, is Cuevas, and that will be out number 2. Cuevas still running in. He thought it was the final out.
He's no Tito Polo though.
No, Tito Polo doesn't lose track of how many outs there are.
Where is Tito Polo? It was fun watching him last night.
He was the right fielder for the White Sox last night. High energy guy who could really run.
The best part of it was when he caught a fly ball to finish 1 inning, and he just kept running and beat everybody to his dugout at third base.
The right fielder got to the dugout before the infielders, even the third baseman or a catcher for that matter. Here's the next pitch. It's popped up on the right side. That's going to get back to the seats and out of play. We're still awaiting the attendance. The crowd still big. It's thinned out a little bit, but we kind of think we're in sellout range or very close to it. Got to be 8,000 plus here today. Here's the next pitch. That's hit sharply on the left side, and Fletcher's going to get another hit. This is going to be for extra bases. It kicks around down in the left field corner, and he will make a turn at second. And to stop there with a double. 2 for 2 today is Fletcher since coming into the game. We've talked about this spring, Jose. The Angels trying to figure out who's going to be that utility infield guy, and Fletcher just keeps making a case for himself.
It's one of those guys just doesn't go away, and every chance he's gotten starting games, he has played short, he's played second, he's run the bases well, he's always on the hustle. Good base runner. 14 hits now for Fletcher. That leads the team.
He can run a little bit. He had 20 stolen bases last year in the minors. Here's Marte at the plate. He checks on the first pitch, and that one in there for strike 1. A hit here could get the Angels a little bit closer. It's 12-6 Colorado with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Had some scouts asking me about Marte and that backswing, Terry, during the games. He's knocked down 2 catchers already here in the spring.
Yeah. The ball's 1 strike. And here's the pitch. It's lifted high in the air down the left field side. Long run for Cuevas. Also the shortstop, Rogers chasing, but it drops out of their reach in foul territory. So it's still 0-2 on Jeffrey Marte. His first time up when he entered the ball game. He batted in the 6th inning, last inning, and he ended up walking.
When he's up there, his catchers beware. Also umpires. Which is interesting because he does not have that type of swing in batting practice.
So it's no balls, 2 strikes on Marte. Chris Carter would be up next if the inning continues with 2 outs. And Russin bluffing a toss to second base. Fletcher gets back.
Yeah, we're talking about middle infielders. Who's a backup? What will the Angels do at the end? Cowart, of course, is a heavy favorite coming in because the Angels are familiar with him. Can play some second and third.
Next delivery, this is chopped to the shortstop. That is Brendan Rodgers, and he will throw out Marte. The Angels will leave Fletcher in scoring position as the inning comes to an end. The 8th inning is next here in Tempe. It's 12-6 Colorado on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels will use pitcher number 6 of the day, and his name is Jonah Wesley, and he is a left-hander, and this is his very first appearance for the Angels here this spring. So we'll see how he fares. He pitched in A-ball last year at Burlington and the other Angel A club in the Cal League Inland Empire, and his ERA was a little bit over 4 between the 2 stops last season.
Welcome Jonah out of Tracy, California, picked by the Angels in 2013 in the 11th round.
And here's the left-hander's pitch. That one is way low on an 0-1. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Get a chance to take a closer look at his delivery. There's a lot of moving parts as he pitches from the windup.
6th season now for him in the Angels organization, and Angels drafted him out of high school. He's 23 years old. .6'1", about 210 pounds. And here's the next pitch. That one is lined into left field, and that's going to drop in for a hit. Hampson will make a turn. He's going to head for second, throw to second, and he is safe. That was a hustle double for Garrett Hampson, his first time up today. And another hit for the Rockies. They've had a lot of them this afternoon.
It pretty much has continued on what they have created from the very first inning, especially the second inning. A couple of hard hit balls in the first that turned into outs against Otani. Regular lineup. And now the youngsters following along, and anything out over that zone just absolutely hammering. 15 total hits now for Colorado.
And they have had a lot of extra base hits. They've hit 4 home runs today.
9-6-1-6. Sellout number 2 of the strike.
So the batter now is Jonathan Daza. This is his first time up, and he fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play. The attendance today, 9,616, 96-16. And that is the second sellout this spring here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And the sellout here today, I think this is the biggest home crowd we've had today. It is, by about 500 people or so.
Nice walk up today.
Yeah, very good. Here's a little bouncing ball, hit the third. Marte looks the runner back to second and throws out the batter Daza over there at first base. That's the first out.
Third baseman, number 6.
So things are winding down. The last spring training game here in the Cactus League for the Angels just about a week away. 24th against the D-backs here in Tempe.
Daniel Castro will be the next batter. This is his first time up today, hitting out a Tachman spot. Mike Tachman went 2 for 4 in the 8 hole. And the pitch on Castro, that's inside, it misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Jonah Wesley on the mound for the Angels, and the next pitch, a little pop into right center field. That's going to fall in, and that's going to be an RBI hit. Scoring easily from second on that single with 1 out in the inning will be Hampson, and now the lead grows for Colorado. It's 13-6. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Jordan Patterson. And the new batter is Derek Gibson. Wesley is set. Here's the pitch, and that one to Gibson. He chases it and misses it for strike 1.
Hope to see Wesley here have the ability to get the ball down and put those infielders to work for you.
Here's the next pitch, and that's chopped foul on the left side.
Go out a little bit better, tied him up, that slider in.
Jonah Wesley replacing Justin Anderson, who pitched the last 2 innings, and really Anderson's outing today, a couple of scoreless and hitless innings. He has the best line of any Angel pitcher by far this afternoon. There's one to tie. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson had 2 strikeouts in Waukene, did not allow any hits or runs in his 2 innings, and he had a 1-hit batter.
Justin Anderson, fearless out there today.
Yep, nice job by him, and he's a guy that we had mentioned. We had seen him a few times this spring. He had not allowed any runs in his first 3 outings, and he didn't allow any runs today either.
As you say that, also making a nice case here as of late, it's Luke Bard, Terry, Angels the Rule 5 pick.
Here's another ball that's going to drop down the right field side, and it gets past Blash and goes all the way out to the wall. This is going to score another run, and hustling into third base will be the batter Gibson, and he will get a triple on it. Blash did not have a good route trying to cut that ball off down that right field line, and it got by him and skipped all the way out to the warning track out by the 360 sign. So now it's 14-6. In favor of the Rockies.
Another elevated pitch. Good job going the other way by Gibson. That ball kept slicing away from Jabari Blash on that hop, he actually kind of short-armed it as the ball went by him.
So the Rockies now in this inning have had a single, double, and triple. And the batter is McMahon, who takes a cut and fouls that pitch off on the left side. Yeah, you were mentioning pitchers trying to win a spot on the Angels opening day roster in the bullpen. Luke Bard, and he's that Rule 5 draft pick. The Angels, if they don't want him to be on the opening day roster, they can't send him down to the minors. They would have to return him back to the Minnesota Twins.
They
and
have to,
so,
yeah, officially have to offer him back for money. And the Twins decide want him back or not. But he's making a case for himself. He's 93 to 96. That fastball is running well. Even people in the staff saying, you know, those numbers perhaps don't say about how valuable he could be, because for Bard, Terry, now that he is healthy, he battled some issues for a couple of seasons, including shoulder blade surgery, hip surgery. But he's got a decent changeup, pretty sharp slider. And he has value because he can go out there and throw you multi-innings. So that'll be a decision the Angels will have to make at the very end as the bullpen roles settle. But having the multi-inning guys is very valuable. What Yusmeiro Petit did for the Angels last year.
3-1 delivery is nowhere close, and Wesley has just walked McMahon.
Number 56.
And Charlie Nagy, the Angels pitching coach, is going to head out to the mound here in the 8th inning to have a word with the reliever.
You know, going back on Bard, he averaged close to 14 strikeouts per 9 innings last year in the minors. A huge jump over his career numbers and average. Also trying to get a report on J.C. Ramirez, who started a AAA game today. And he had been throwing the ball very well.
So the meeting wraps up.
2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. Ramirez said 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit batter.
Last 3 Rockies have reached base safely here, and only 1 out, 2 are in, and 2 are on. Runners at the corners. Here's Cuevas getting ready to bat, and the first pitch on him, it misses high for a ball. Jonah Wesley from Tracy, California. It's located in the San Joaquin County. Here's the pitch. That's hit well into left field, but it's hanging up. Under, making the catch on it, Eric Young Jr. Tagging at third base is Gibson. He will come in to score on the sac fly. And the Rockies add on. It's now 15-6, Colorado. Rogers will be the next batter, their shortstop. Brendan Rodgers, since coming in, has been hit by a pitch his only time up. Here's the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike.
Rodgers has gotten to play a lot. 20th game already here in preseason. And with a .286 average, 3 home runs, 7 RBI. Very talented young man.
Here's the next delivery. That's low. Good block on it by Carlos Perez. Runner over there at first. McMahon stays over there. 15 runs and 17 hits for the Rockies today. Here's the next delivery, and that's high and away. 24 pitches here in this inning for the Young Angels left-handed reliever up from the minor league camp.
Well, this was their day. Good chance for them to go out there and perhaps get themselves another shot up here next week.
There's a pitch that's low and inside, and now the count goes to 3-1.
Heard some rumors coming out of Toronto Blue Jays camp, Terry, that Vlad Guerrero Jr., who's turning 19 today, could start the season already in Double-A.
Oh,
Go figure.
well, here's a pitch and misses high for ball 4, and that's another walk, and that will put runners on to first and second, and that's also going to be it for Jonah Wesley. So Mike Socia is headed out to the mound. We'll have a pitching change here. We have 2 outs in the 8th. When we get back right now, 15-6 in favor of Colorado, and they're threatening with a couple runners on base. Pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Isaac, and he is a right-hander. So we'll see if he can get the final out, and he faces Hilliard in the first pitch. This one is lifted high in the air. It's hit well out into right center field. It's out by the scoreboard out in right center field. Lash jumping up out there, and I don't know if he caught it or not. No signal by the umpires. Everybody is just kind of waiting out there to see what happened, and still no indication there. And that one, I think, left the ballpark. Still haven't signaled, but that is a home run. First pitch thrown by Isaac, and it drives in a 3-run homer. It's 18-6 now in favor of Colorado, and that is their 5th home run of the day.
At one point, it appeared like Lash had come up with that baseball, but he reacted coming down. And Liriano going out there to see if he's okay, and also where the ball was in case there was a carom.
So here is Walters at the plate. 2 of those runs which just came in go against Wesley, who allowed 5 runs in just 2/3 of an inning.
We had talked about Hilliard back in the first week of camp.
Yeah. And the next delivery, that one is in there for a called strike. Sean Isaac is a young man who lives in Redondo Beach, born in Torrance.
I'm sure he's got many family members waiting for this chance. See him in a big league uniform with a big league team.
Went to Vanguard University, selected by the Angels in the 35th round of the 2016 June draft. Graduated from Mira Costa High School, and last season Inland Empire. briefly at AAA Salt Lake. He also pitched at Class A Burlington. 25 years old to pitch, and that one is high. 1-2 the count. 18-6, the Rockies on top. A 5-home run day for Colorado. And the next delivery, it's fouled back behind the plate. They had the 8-run second, and they have scored 6 here in the 8th. Here's the next pitch. That's way low and inside.
Rockies came into the game having hit 27 home runs. Angels came into the game having hit 23.
Number 68, Garrett.
On the next delivery, that one's going to miss, and Walters is on with ball 4. So this is the second inning in this ball game where the Rockies have batted around. Hampson stepping up. He led this inning off with a double, and the first pitch to him is a ball that counts 1-0. Well, if Sean Isaac didn't have any nervous energy when he came into the ball game, the first pitch he throws a 3-run homer, you got to wonder about his nerves right now.
Hopefully he's settled down now.
Walked the next batter after the home run, and he's fallen behind here. 2 balls and no strikes on Hampson. Right-hander is set, and the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. And we talk about these games, especially late in these games where a lot of the younger players get a chance to play. And this might be a blowout, and obviously it is 18-6. But for Sean Isaac, this is probably the biggest game he's ever pitched in his life.
You're absolutely
because
right.
he's pitching for the Angels.
It matters a whole lot.
And that one is fouled back, so
just think.
Just being able to breathe out there is difficult for some of these guys.
Exactly. Your son, my son, same situation. We'd be pulling like this is a World Series game.
Sure.
You know?
Right. 2-2 is the count. And here's the next delivery. That bounces in. Good block on it by Perez.
One thing about Isaac, as Terry mentioned from Torrance and Vanguard University, is the strikeouts have been present as part of his game in the minor leagues. In 93 innings pitched career, 125 punchouts, only a .230 average against in 2 seasons, where he's bounced around from one level to the next.
Strictly a reliever since turning pro, and here's a bouncing ball hit to third. This will end the inning as Marte will throw out the batter Hampson. A 5-3 roundout to end the inning. So a 6-run inning for Colorado, and they have a 12-run lead as we go into the bottom of the 8th. 18-6 Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. The bottom of the 8th inning, and on the mound, a new pitcher for the Rockies and a guy who spent some time with the Angels, Brooks Pounders, and his first delivery, and that one is on the outside corner. It's a called strike on the Angels leadoff man of this inning, who is Chris Carter. A couple of big guys squaring off against each other here, and Pounders' next pitch. That's right in there for a called strike, 0-2.
Two very good sliders to get ahead in the count and put Chris Carter in a hole here by former Angel and former Royal Brooks Pounders.
Brooks Pounders from Temecula Valley High School delivers, and that one a pitch that misses, and the count 1 ball 2 strikes. Pounders getting ready for and now in his 6th game this spring for the Rockies. He's done a pretty good job. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3.60 ERA, and that pitch, it is taken by Carter, and the count even, it's 2-2. Pounders in 11 games for the Angels last year, 1-0 record, an ERA of 10.45. Goes 6'5", 265 pounds, and he misses low and outside with that one, so the count is full. It's 3-2 on Chris Carter.
Terry, he's getting a new beginning with Buddy Black.
Yep.
Pounder so far in the spring, pretty decent. 3.6 ERA for Colorado in 5 games.
See what gives on the 3-2, and there is one that is hit on a very high hop behind the mound. Coming in, charging is Hampson, the second baseman, and he will throw out Carter. So 1 away here in the Angels' 8th inning.
Very special hello today to Helen Schwenecker of Whittier, California. Terry, 94 years young, and she's a big Angels fan. And this comes from our wonderful stage manager, Cheryl Goodyear. Say hello.
Wow.
How about that?
How about that? God bless her, 94 years old. Helen, just keep on keeping on there in Whittier.
Be blessed.
We hope to see you out at the Big A if at all possible. So here is Liriano batting. And here's the pitch. That's a cut and a miss, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Pounders replacing Russin, who worked last inning. He gave up a hit, no runs, and he did not walk or strike out anyone. Here's the next delivery, and that is a called 3rd strike. And Liriano is out on 3 pitches, and Pounders has retired the first 2 in a row.
That might have been a little speed up move right there by John Tumpane, close enough where Liriano should have been protecting home plate. Terry, this is a different Brooks Pounders. A slimmer Brooks Pounders too.
He's still a big man. He might have lost a few pounds, but
they all count.
Well, if he dropped 5 pounds,
hey,
he's down to 260 now.
Fine.
Big guy, Brooks Pounders. Here's the pitch on EY Jr., and he takes that one for a ball. I want to remind you the bottom of the 8th inning. It's being brought to you today by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at rotolo.com. And the next pitch, and that one is taken for a strike, 1-1.
EY Jr. came into today tied in the lead in hits with the Angels with David Fletcher. 12. Fletcher today has taken the lead by 2. He's got 14 now as he is 2 for 2.
There's a pitch on the outside corner. That's a called strike.
EY nonetheless has had an ace pickup as of late after a slow start to the spring. Angels fans came to love him. He really made an impact with the Angels immediately, getting an opportunity after Mike Trout went on the disabled list with a thumb injury.
There's a pitch that's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pounders and Eric Young Jr. spent a lot of time together last season at AAA Salt Lake, and of course both also spent time with the Angels last year. The 2-2 pitch off speed, a 1 hopper hit to second. Hampson has it. He'll throw out Young, and Pounders has a quick, clean inning here against the Angels in the bottom of the 8th. We never thought we'd get to the 9th, but that's where we're headed as we go there 18-6. Colorado here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Colorado on top. First pitch from the Angels right-hander Sean Isaac, who got the final out last inning. He's back to work here in the 9th inning, and it's chased and missed by Jonathan Daza for strike one. 18 runs and 18 hits for the Rockies today, and the pitch lifted in the air into left center field, chasing after it and running that one down is Eric Young Jr. in the gap in left center field. So that's the first out.
Number 6, Daniel Castro.
Daniel Castro will be the next batter.
There you go. Better beginning there for Isaac as he gets the first man retired.
So here is Castro's had an RBI single since entering the game, and he scored a run. The first pitch, he takes that one. It's in there for a called strike.
Nice breaking ball. Pushing Castro back. Thought the ball was going to hit him. And he's got a very exaggerated open stance.
Next pitch, he chases that one, fouls it back upstairs to our right, backing out of play. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Castro.
On deck, Colorado's #91, Johnson, Gibson.
There's a little bouncer foul over near where the Angels coaches are seated.
That will keep him alert. This kind of game, it's dragged on. 24 runs and 28 hits combined.
Jose, it looks like we're going to take spring training to a new level here. I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. And there's a line shot, and that one is caught by Carter for the second out.
Well, fill me in before you send me out. What do you got?
Number 91, Derek Gibson, was supposed to bat now, but they're going to pinch hit number 91 with number 91, Ben Johnson.
Oh, that's great.
So 91 is batting for 91.
Not a lot of work for our PA announcer, by the way. Let's change that first name.
So Johnson batting for Gibson, and the first pitch, and that one is low, and the count's 1 ball, no strikes.
It's a big AB right here for Ben Johnson. Try to make the most out of it.
No doubt.
Buddy Black. Good for Buddy Black to give the young man a chance. Make the trip out here, go get your AB.
Here's the next pitch, and that's a good breaking ball on the outside corner. Good pitch. Called strike. The count's even. It's 1-1. Here's the next delivery from Isaac, and that one is low outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dane Johnson is an outfielder from Austin, Texas. Signed it to a minor league contract April of last year. He had been released by Kansas City.
Next delivery on him. He takes that one low.
Here's the pitching line from J.C. Ramirez's minor league game today. Angels camp. 4 2/3 innings.
3 balls, 1 strike.
2 runs, 1 was earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
Isaac is set. We'll see what happens on the 3-1, and that is a foul tip, and the count is full, 3-2.
4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
Angels right-hander is ready. Shadow's starting to creep in the back part of the batter circle, and on the 3-2 delivery, that's off speed. It's chased and missed, struck him out, and Sean Isaac has a nice, clean 9th inning. He sets him down 1-2-3 and gets his first strikeout in today's ball game. So we get set to go to the bottom of the 9th. It's an 18-6 Colorado lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 18-6, Colorado leading, and the first batter up for the Angels is Jabari Blash, and Blash on an 0-1 pitch tried to hold up on that one, went around. The count's 0-2. This is his second at bat since coming in. He was actually hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and caught an RBI back in the bottom of the 6th inning, his first time up. He takes that one for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brooks Pounders still pitching for Colorado. He came in last inning at a 1-2-3 inning. They do have more action right-handers up in their bullpen. And here's the next delivery. That's chopped foul over on the third base side. Angels, couple road games coming up. Peoria tomorrow against Seattle. Surprise on Sunday against Texas, and then Monday, this coming Monday, the Angels will host the Mariners. That'll be under the lights here at Tempe Diablo. And on the 1-2, it's chased and missed by Blash, struck him out.
Number 51, Colin Walsh.
Colin Walsh will be the next batter. He's had an 0-for-1 day. Just looking at some of the Angels who played earlier today. Justin Upton, a home run for the Angels. Cole Calhoun had one. Calhoun was 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Zach Cozart, a good ball game. Pair of hits and a walk. He was 2 for 2 with an RBI double. No balls, 1 strike is the count here on Walsh. He asks for time as he backs out of the batter's box. Here's the next pitch, and that's fouled off over on the left side, out of play. Jose Mota is headed downstairs. He'll be joined by a special guest on the post-game show right after the ball game wraps up. And the pitch on its way. That one misses high, and I think Jose is going to try and visit with the Angels shortstop, who's playing that position now in this ball game. David Fletcher, SoCal native. He's had a real nice spring for the Angels. And the pitch, trying to check the swing on that one is Walsh. They say on the appeal he went after it, so he is a strikeout victim, and the Angels are down to their final out in this ball game. Carlos Perez will be the next batter. Brooks Pounders, who really struggled with the Angels last season, has retired all 5 Angels that he's faced today. Now with the Rockies, doesn't figure to be on their opening day roster, but the pitch, here's one that's lifted in the air into shallow center field. This is going to do it. Under making the catch is Daza out there, and that is how the ball game will end. So a very quick bottom of the 9th inning. It was not a quick game today, and it was really all Colorado as they come away with the victory here this afternoon, beating the Angels by the final score of 18-6. A total of 28 hits between the two teams, 24 runs between the two teams, and there were a lot of base runners in today's ball game here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The game took nearly 3.5 hours here today. The winning pitcher ended up being the starter, Herman Marquez for Colorado. The loser was Angels starting pitcher Shohei Ohtani. So a tough day today for the Angels and for Ohtani. We are going to take you down near the first base line. Jose Mota is standing by with our special guest, and that is Angels infielder David Fletcher.
Thanks, Terry. Well, always fun to see the new breed of Angels coming through. For you in spring training, how different has this one been compared to your previous ones?
I think a little more comfortable this year. That I reached AAA last year, and I kind of getting a taste of the higher levels.
Coming into spring training, any idea you'd be playing this deep into or perhaps even leading the team in hits?
I mean, I come in kind of with the same mindset every year, just to take it pitch by pitch, even though it's a cliche, but it's really what I try to do.
Tell me about all the text messages and positive feedback you're getting from home, especially you, the pride of Cypress High School.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of support from family and friends, and I mean, people that I've played with, and it's nice to have the support.
What is the day-to-day being around superstars that are trying to also pass on and teachings of the game to you?
I mean, it's definitely a really special experience, and a lot I can learn from those guys, especially day by day in the mornings, getting our early work and that stuff.
Knowing what you've done, is it hard not to think about perhaps the possibility of sticking with the team for camp breaks?
I just, like I said, like to control what I can and just try to do my best every day.
That's a good veteran answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's been a pleasure to watch here. He can do so many things for you. And of course, for all of you, in my happy birthday, thank you so much. It's time for a cupcake.
All right, Jose, enjoyed the visit today with SoCal native David Fletcher joining you and us here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Well, tough day for the Angels, no doubt about it. The Rockies come away with the victory, winning this game by the final score of 18-6. I want to thank you for joining us today, wherever you've been tuned in. And for those of you watching on Fox Sports West, Jose Mota and Ken French will have a lot more post-game analysis that's coming up in just minutes on Angels Live. On the radio side, we'll be right back with you for more post-game coverage on our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830. Again today, Colorado over the Angels 18-6. Thanks for joining us on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.